Hi everyone, and welcome back to day 7 of Wild vs. Resurgence series, lower bracket round 3. My name is Gaming with Nix, and I will be casting the match today between DR Unique and 2 Roadie Banega. Alongside me, I have Yash with me who will be casting the match as well. So, hi Yash, how's it going?
Hey man, I'm good. I'm good. What about you?
All good, bro. All good. Really exciting. Really excited to see the match that we'll be having tonight. And I'm sure both these teams will be hoping to put on a great show. So, whom are you rooting for? Like, who do you think will be winning today's match?
Well, Roadie show were very dominant yesterday against the opponent, so I'm voting for them. I hope that we get to see the same dominating performance today as well from their side.
Right, of course, of course. If we talk about the journey that both these teams have had, so two Rodi Banega on the one side, they won their first match against Cable Cart Esports. Then they lost their second match against Alphabets and moved on to the lower bracket. Then again, yesterday they won against BTC 69, and here they are today. On the other side, we have DR Unique, who won their first match against Alpha Pack, lost their match against Punchlines, and won their third match against Judgment Day in the lower bracket. So I think it's all for both these teams, and the one that loses the match will be going home from here.
So in the banning phase, as we can see that the all lot of respect bans are coming. I mean, a lot of lane bullies are getting banned. So there's a Navi ban, there's a Lucian ban, and as well as we can say a Z ban, Seth ban, and a Jace ban from the red side. So these champs are like a lane bullies. So it's just better to ban them. I mean, I'm hoping that they are opting for the more team fight compositions right now.
Right, right. Seems that way, but again, Soraka was being hovered over, but they have gone in for Camille, which is again a very strong pick, both as a top laner as well as a jungler. Not so much as a jungler now after the nerf, but still, it can be flexed in both the roles.
Yeah, I mean her camp speed. I mean is decreased, but as well you can see she's very good at ganks and all because the mobility she has right now. I mean it's insane.
True, true. Especially in the skirmishes, you need champions like Fiora and Camille who can hold their own. So yeah, she's still very good in the jungle role, but I guess they might play her in the Baron lane, but only time will tell. Let's find out.
So as we can see the Alyssa pick at the on the red side just to counter Camille because you can just headbutt her out of her ult. So it's really a really good pick for them.
Right, right, right. I mean, they have done their homework. They know what bans they have to do against what champions. And again, we are seeing a Braum being picked over here. Do you reckon, as a support main yourself, a Braum against an Alistar would do well?
Yes, I mean definitely because once the Alyssa comes in and if he the Braum lands is able to land his passive, then it's like a tough time for Alyssa then in the lane. So he has to
Right.
choose his engages very wisely in the lane also.
Hmm. Makes sense. Makes sense. Again, Akali being picked in the mid lane against an Ari. So it'll be really interesting to see which champion can get the snowball running because both these champs they are dependent upon the tempo that they get in the mid lane so that they can go forward in the mid to late game as well. So an Ezreal being picked as the ADC again a very strong pick. But let's see if they can do well with Ezreal because not many ADCs in this competition have done well with Ezreal.
Oh, yeah, of course. The scaling champs. I mean, it's a curse, right? You have to scale all game, and then you'll be able to do the damage. First two items is it's very important.
Right. Makes sense. All right. So Olaf getting banned again, a very good ban, I would say, keeping in mind that they are going for a very heavy engage composition, dive heavy composition. So Olaf will counter all that CC if given a chance. So makes sense that they get him banned already. Rengar getting banned. Yash, what do you reckon? Rengar could have done a lot of damage in this composition.
I mean, the comp they have right now, so it's like just one Ari champ and the Rengar goes on you. So I guess yeah, it's I don't know what they're thinking of right now, but it's a good ban right
Right,
now.
right. Rengar, I mean, obviously, I've seen many teams ban Kha'Zix over Rengar. So Rengar has not always been the most famous picks out of the two. But again, we are seeing Rengar ban. Probably the other team maybe playing Rengar a lot. They must have seen something in that, and that's why it's getting banned.
So I guess Devish has been playing a lot of Rengar in his solo queue right now, but Rengar is I
Hmm.
feel like Rengar is just a solo queue pick. And team fight you can't play Rengar because because
Right,
the other
right.
team has synergy. So if they aim you, you're done.
Of course, of course. Master E getting banned. Probably they must have seen the game between DR Unique and Alpha Pack, where our Lucifer Gaming went ham with his Master E. So probably a target ban coming in for Lucifer.
I've seen a lot of teams, like literally all teams who are banning his mastery. So yeah,
I mean, this is a new meta, I guess. Banning Master E is the new thing.
yeah. I mean, with Yumi out now, it's going to be like a lot of mastery games coming in.
Right. I'm not too sure if Yumi will be allowed in the Resurgence series, but if we get to see Yumi, then that will be amazing.
No, she's not allowed. But I'm talking about the solo queue meta. I mean, mastery is coming back.
Right, right, right. Let's hope for all those one trick masteries that, I mean, they do not find their way in my matchups, at least.
Well, you just pray that you don't get a good E mastery with the low ping. Yeah.
Yes. So as per for the picks, we are seeing J4 and Pantheon being picked. So again, a very dive heavy CC based composition from the red side, and we are seeing Corki being picked as the ADC, probably because they would want something to get out of the J4 cage when he ults. So again, a very smart pick. Corki deals a lot of damage, has the package, so mobility, CC, everything is coming in from the blue side.
Well, yes. So the red team is like a lot of like they have a lot of heavy skirmishes they can do in with their comp right here, and also they
Hmm.
have a very strong team fight. I see.
Right, right. So probably from what I can feel is that their playstyle would be something like catching one opponent off guard, diving on him, just clearing him out, and then moving on to the next fight.
And also they are really good at it. I mean, these guys have been playing together since a long time, I guess, because I've been seeing them together in like every games they play. So they have a lot of synergy. So opting for comps
Right,
like this, yeah, they know how to do it. They know how to play them.
right, right. Makes sense. So obviously, DR Unique, if they've done their homework, they would know how two Roadie Banega will be playing their games, will be wanting to take team fights, and I hope they can counter them with their own macro.
Yeah, I mean, Brom is a good pick. I mean, they also have a good team fight. As we can see, there's like Akali here, Graves here, Koki here, Camille here, and also Brom. So if they are able to catch someone before the fight starts or during the team fights, they're going to win it.
Of course, of course, of course. And if you even have Singed, so it cannot get more annoying than that.
Yeah, I mean, the red team is opting for like double scaling comp. Is they have like Ezreal and Singed here. So if somehow they manage to scale up, it's going to be tough for the blue side here.
Yes, I do agree. And again, people underestimate Singed, but trust me, I have seen so many Singed players. If they get some sort of a lead in the game, they will bully the entire team. I mean, with their roam, with everything that they do in the game, it's going to be, really effective.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's going to have a really tough time in lane against a Camille because of her passive. I mean,
Right.
since like barely deals any damage early game, and because of her passive, she can handle it. The Camille can easily handle it.
True, true. And again, Frosty being a very, experienced top laner, will try and take a lot of advantage of that.
So, what do you think about the matchups right now? So, uh,
Uh, Honestly, I feel the red team has the advantage over here, especially with the synergy that they have got, as you've already mentioned. And again, the composition that they have makes a lot of sense to just go in, catch one off guard, and then just kill him. Then you have a 4v5 fight. Obviously, you will be winning that. You have the numbers advantage.
also we might be seeing in an invade here. I mean,
But this is really
Braum
interesting.
this is typical Indian meta. You get Braum and you invade. So they
All
opted
right, we can see. Yeah.
Singe has already burned his flash. I mean, sorry Camille, this red is not for you.
Yes, yes, of course. And Kamil, I mean, he has to back off over here. I mean, they could have got a kill as well, but it's good that the blue team is not being too greedy at this point and just getting what they wanted. That was the red buff. And again, Flash, a summoner being wasted by the top laner. So good game, good plays by the blue team, and I think they are on their way to getting some really important plays happen.
Yeah, but I feel like they have invested a lot on that jungle camp. I mean, Corki has like missed like 2 waves, I guess, yet. So it's going to be a tough time for him
Yes, yes, of
because
course.
he's going to be like a level behind during the dragon fight, first dragon fight.
So I think in this upcoming, minute or two, he'll just have to farm a lot And Brom's role will be really important just to get him all the gold that is possible, all the experience that is possible. Will be really interesting to see how the ADC Corki plays out in this game.
So
All right, we might be seeing a fight over here. Skirmish is going on. They do get the scuttler, but I think Akali might be going in. Brom manages to get the first kill, and that too of Alistar. So again, a support getting a support skill. Probably would have loved if the Akali or the Corki could have got a kill over here. But again, it's the kills that count. So not too much damage done on the blue side or the red side. Again, a kill of a support champion won't make that much of a difference.
yeah, I
What do
mean,
you
like I
reckon?
told you, man, like Alisa has to choose his engages very wisely against a Brom. So one bad engage and you're going to get hammed. I mean, at this early stage, you don't even have your ult.
Right, of course. And I guess I might be mistaken, but the Ari did not rotate on time for that fight, and that could have caused them the scuttler over there. Not just the scuttler, but also a kill, because Akali was in the team fight at that point of time.
Yeah, I mean, Ari like has a lane priority, so she should have rotated, but it's okay. I mean,
Yes, it's just one kill. I mean,
I mean,
attack to an Alistar, we can forgive her. Those are just support
yeah,
champions.
it's like a BO3, so there are room for improvements in the next game.
True, true, true. For those of you who do not know, guys, it's a BO3 that's going on right now. So whichever teams win the first match, I mean, the other team will have a chance to make a comeback in the second one. Again, we're seeing a lot of pressure being put by Corki and Brom in the bottom lane. I think what Yash mentioned that Corki will be behind in the first dragon fight. That is going to be true. He is not yet level 5, and Ezreal is almost 5.5 or almost reaching about 6 levels. Will be really interesting to see
Yeah, I
how
mean,
the
it was
Corki
supposed
goes
to be
about.
like he was not supposed to reach level 5, but because of that fight over there, just because they got a scuttle and a free kill XP, so they
Right.
covered up. Yeah.
Somewhat, but still he
Yeah,
has a lot of ground to cover. But let's see, the first dragon is going to be a cloud one. What do you reckon, Yash? Which team should contest this one? Like for which team this particular Drake is going to be more important?
so like they have like a singed, so I'm sure like he'll benefit a lot. I mean, the other champions don't benefit much from the cloud drake, but singed benefits a lot because of course, I mean, it's not very useless as you can say. If you're like roaming and all, it's very useful because you get a free movement speed buff, and that's like a lot. That's like a free boot.
Mhm. I completely agree. In fact, not just for the Singe, but also for the Alistair, he'll need that movement speed to roam around freely. And I think the red team is going in for the Rift first, and the blue team has started off with the Cloud Drake. So it'll be really interesting to see if the red team can actually burst the Rift down and then move on to the Drake. But I don't think that will be enough. The blue team will get the Drake over here, and the red team has already secured the Rift Herald. And I think they will be probably going after the first top turret.
But it's really a good choice made by the red team because they have two scaling chaps, so they just have to scale. So by Rift Herald, you can just funnel gold to either one of your champions, and if they manage to get singed ahead in gold, I mean it's over for them.
Right, and between that, we saw an amazing play by Frosty on his Camille. He not just got one kill, but almost secured, made sure that the top turret did not go down. But again, it was a 4-man gank, and along with the Rift turret, so you expected the first turret to go down. So not too much behind in terms of gold, about 600k, 600 gold behind. So that's not a lot, in my opinion.
Also, two teams are playing very proactively. I mean, they know how to trade. So if the rift is gone, they take the dragon, and if the top tower is going, they take the mid tower here. So they're doing really well. Both teams are doing it.
Right, so between that again, guys, amazing fights happening right now. Akali and Corki making sure that they make Ezreal pay for the overextending just the slightest. And again, Akali almost got one more kill over here. But again, both these teams are taking it really slow, and Ezreal's ult comes in and almost gets Akali's kills. That was really close, I would say. So what do you reckon? I think Akali with a kill or two in a bag might benefit as compared to Ari.
Yeah, for surely. I mean, she's an assassin, so Israel is going to have a really tough time against her.
Right. And that too, I mean, keeping in mind he hasn't built a stasis yet, and he's going in for the damage right now, which makes sense. But again, you need that stasis to stay alive when the Akali dives you. So it'll be really interesting to see as to when he manages to build the very important enchantment that is Stasis.
Yeah, I mean, like we've seen a lot of Indian players playing Akali really well. I mean,
All right, so the Brom has actually, the Alistar has actually gone in, but he has gone in too deep again. As Yash mentioned, you need to have those proper engages with Alistar. You cannot just go in blind, and that too, you're going in against, four people who are waiting for you to burst you down. So again, not a very clean play, I would say, from Alistar. What do you reckon, Yash, on
yeah, I
that?
mean, I feel like with the Blue team has done their homework really well. They know like how to counter Seth. They know that Seth is really good at his Enchanter champs, but if he picks Alistar, he's going to make some bad engages, and we'll just have to catch him. So as we can see, like they are just aiming Alistar here. I mean, most of the teams will just be like, "Hey, let's not aim Alistar," but they will like balls in. Like if Alistar's coming, he's making any mistake, they are punishing him.
Right, right. So we might be seeing the bot's turret go down, but I think Frosty has done too much over here. Alistar, in the meantime, gets a kill, and I think we will be seeing the bottom turret go down. No, no, no. That does not happen. It barely remains on 101 HP. So not too much left, but again, they have got a lot of chunk down on that turret. But again, let's see what plays both the blue and the red team will be making, keeping in mind that the next Drake will be coming really soon. Again, the Corki and Brom doing a lot of damage, and that is exactly what you expect from a Corki. He has to poke with the range, and that is exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, behind he's managing to do like a really good chunk of damages. So he's playing really good at this moment, I must say.
Right, right, of course. And with the Infernal Ray coming up, I think if they manage to secure this one, then again, it'll benefit them a lot because Corki and Akali with an Infernal Ray are going to cause havoc in the back line, especially with this package. Corki will be diving in, and of course, we have the Corki package here with us, and he will be taking the package and moving towards the Dragon fight. So I think, I reckon they will be taking the Dragon fight with the Corki package being there.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a really interesting fight. I mean, this is like the best part of this game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So
the
while you're
internal
talking about
deck.
that, yeah, I mean, Dax got annihilated on that stage, and I think, okay, the fight has actually broken down. Camille is going to come in with her ultimate and chase down Ezreal and also managed to get his kill over there. And with that, the blue team has actually wiped off the red team, and we are seeing a complete ace being done by the blue team. What an amazing engage that was, and not just the engage, but also a very, very nice teleport being used by Camille.
Yeah, I mean, that was like really good micro play from there. They were knowing what target to select, and they were just one prompt passive, and everyone was literally aiming him. So they're playing really well.
Right, right. So, if you were on the red side right now, what would you do? What would your plays be at this point? Because you have lost a few turrets. I mean, yes, in the turret game, they both are 2-2 each. But when it comes to gold, they are now lagging behind about 3K or so. Again,
So
not too much. If you see that the game has gone up to like the 10th minute mark, but this will scale up with the dragons being there on
So
the
if I
side.
was in the red team right now, I would recommend not to fight because we have like two scaling champs in our team. So it's just better to scale, do some split pushing and all stuff rather than fighting here.
Right, right. But they're doing exactly the opposite of that. They are going in, taking in fights. The J4 actually goes and uses that, but of course, Corki manages to escape, but not for long. The Ari charm actually got to him, and with that, they managed to get one kill, and that too of a Corki. So good plays happening from the red side, and they are now taking the blue side down. Sapna Whitey is quite low and might even go down. Yes, J4 gets a second kill, and Akali is on the back lane, but not for long. Akali also goes down, so the red team is moving mad right now. They have got 3 kills, and I think they are moving on to take the mid turret now. Not sure if they will be able to take that because the wave is not in their favor, but all it needs is one auto attack, and that's exactly what they did. What a play that was from the red team.
Yeah, I mean that's going to help them a lot because they are going to get like as you can see the gold lead has just decreased. I mean the blue side is like now there's 1,000 gold ahead from them.
Right, a lot of kills were exchanged over there, and of course, DR Unix should be aware that they do not have to throw this match because they have the Infernal, they have the Cloud Drake, with them. And of course, it's all about one team fight, and that's exactly what happened. The red team, to Roadie Banega, of course, taking those few kills that they could get. But right now, we might be seeing an engage in the bottom side. The blue team will be able to get the bottom turret right now with the help of the rift turret. But I think that's that for. The blue side. No more fights happening right now in the bottom lane. They are focusing towards getting a lot of kills and a lot of gold. Alright, so Daksh might be in a spot of bother. Akali going in. Daksh had to use his flash, but that wasn't enough. I won't call it a very classy play. What do you reckon, Yash? Was that flash necessary?
Mid game singed. Yeah, I mean, it's better to get kills on Akali. I mean, if you get kills, if you're ahead in gold, you can just burst down Ezreal. So the Akali, like whatever is coming, she has to take it for now.
Right,
That's what I
right.
feel.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that summoner being used by Singed, he flashed out in order to escape, knowing that he might not be able to make it. That was a waste of flash, I would say.
Yeah, but what I feel like on the other side, like as you can see, this red team is like quite farming a lot because as you can see, even though the difference between the Ezreal and Corki in terms of kills a lot, it's like couple of kills, but
Mhm.
Ezreal is somehow able to manage, compensate it and like he's farming a lot and
Right.
he's managing the gold difference there.
Hmm. So we can see that the next dragon that will be coming up will be the mountain drake, and that means that the last drake that will be coming up will be the ocean soul. So it will be really interesting to see which team gets that, because I reckon the team that gets the elder ocean might actually dictate the terms over here, because the game is so close as of now.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, it's like you're getting like if the blue team manages to get this dragon, this game is going to be on their side.
Right, I do agree. So I think the red team is starting off with the dragon, and the blue team, they have to make a decision whether they have to go in or not. And I think they are going in right now. The blue team has gone in, and the back line, the Akali gets a kill of Singed. And right now we are seeing a J4 ult, beautiful ult by J4. And let's see if they can do something. Ari gets one kill. In fact, Graves also gets a kill on Alistair. And not just one, he gets two kills. And he is on a rampage right now. One after another, he gets a triple kill on the blue side. And that was an amazing gameplay by the entire blue team. And what do you reckon, Yash? Will they be taking the Baron also as well?
Yeah, I mean they
Taking this
should.
pick?
I mean it was a really good fight actually. I mean Alista managed to like tank a lot there, but I mean like I mean because of the early kills that he gave them, and right now he's behind. He was not able to tank all of it.
Right.
But yeah, definitely the blue team is going to benefit a lot because they have like three dragons here, and if they manage to get the Elder Dragon too, it's going to be game over for them.
True,
For
true,
the
true. I think these dragons are causing a lot of trouble to the red team. Roadie Banega might have their work cut out in the late game, because they have gifted the blue team three dragons, mind you. And of course, with these dragons, they will be scaling up as the game goes on. So it'll be really interesting if the red team manages to get the elder, then we might see a comeback.
Yeah, I mean Corki like wasted his package though he managed. I mean still they managed to win the fight.
Right. And over here we see another kill happen by Corki, and that too of Singed. Singed is 4-0 right now, 0-4. And again, not really helpful if you pick a Singed and not scale really well. So again, those dragons are really causing a lot of trouble, because of course Singed wanted something to scale up with, but no, without the dragons, it'll be really tough for him to get those items, get those damage getting in. But yeah, let's see how the red team manages to come back from here.
Definitely, definitely. But yeah, still the Baron's here. So as you know, in this Indian scene, you can't predict anything like legit. One
Yes.
wrong fight, anything will happen. So
I think the one good thing what I feel that the blue team is doing right now, they are diving in and targeting the right champions. I've seen Camille Alt go always on the Ezreal, and that is perfect targeting from my opinion. Because if you, as a Camille, if you start targeting champions like Singed, Alistair, what's the point of your ultimate? But Frosty has been doing some really nice targeting over here.
yeah, I mean definitely if the Kapil manages to like Ezreal only has like his E and Flash. If the Camille
Yes.
manages to take them out, I mean he won't be able to do some aggressive plays. He can't. I mean he has to stay behind them.
True, true. And I think that is the reason that Ezreal is not being overly aggressive in this match. We have seen some really passive plays, by their ADC, and that is quite explanatory of why that is happening, because Camille has been really putting a lot of pressure on the backlane, along with Akali, mind you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so they are using their picks to the proper. I mean, they are fully utilization using their picks. I mean, they have like an assassin also Camille, and they are properly using it.
So we might be seeing a team fight right now in the mid lane, but no, that does not happen. Akali might be in a spot of bother over here. If oh, that's a beautiful charm by Ari, but no, Akali manages to escape with that proto belt. And yeah, I was expecting to see Akali go down over there, but yeah, Akali has the luck on her side right now.
So with the current positioning, what do you think? Who is the upper end of the Baron right now?
Oh, of course, of course. I would say not just the positioning, just the overall state of the game. I would definitely prefer that the blue team starts the dragon and takes it. Because if the red team starts it, it doesn't make sense, because you are bound to get countered if you start doing that.
Yeah, I mean, the blue teams is like looking for kills here and there. I mean, they're just like just
Yeah.
waiting for their opponents to get get out of their position. But I'm sure the Camille is in trouble here. If they manage to catch her here over here, it's going to be trouble for them.
True, and I am not sure if that's a very wise move, because you're trying to catch champions like Camille. I mean, how is that possible? Camille has an ability to escape, and if you're trying to chase down a champion that has a lot of mobility, you are calling for a counter, and that is exactly what is going to happen. They were too busy in the bottom lane, and they paid the price for that. Again, Snitch going down, and the blue team is just getting fed beyond limit.
No, as we can see, the Camille is strong. They can adopt for a split pushing, but the Elder's here, so yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Just going in for the Elder, and I don't think that the red team can contest it. All that they can do is that Kamil can actually go in and steal the Drake. That is the only saving grace that they will have right now. But I think the blue team knows that they are going in, trying to get a kill, and that is exactly what they've done. They have gone in. J4 uses that, but escapes barely. But in the meantime, the blue team, Graves, managed to get the Elder Drake. So I think it's just a matter of time before we see the end happen.
The Cork is like going to deal tons of damage right now. I mean, with every ability that he's going to cast right now, with every missile that he's going to launch right now, he's going to make a tons of damage. Also, the Graves
Right, and not just Corky, it's Graves, it's everyone who's doing their bit, and much more than that. Because we are seeing that the scoreline has literally turned into 19-6, and with that, I think they will be going in for the Baron. Graves might be making his way towards the Baron as well, because he's just retreated, got an item, and I think it's time for them to start the Baron and end the fight as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, there was no need for them to go base, but they know that the game is in their hands already. So whatever do right now, it doesn't matter. They know they are winning.
Right. And we're seeing some really good, team play by the blue side, because they literally went in and zoned out J4, so that it wasn't even physically possible for him to make it to the pit. And I think they might just end it from the mid lane. What do you reckon?
Yeah, they should. They should definitely. Also, with
All
the
right.
Kabil by themselves, they can also opt for a spread push here. And either way, they are going to win this. And there's a wonderful dodge from the Braum.
So Brom showing a lot of skill over here, and not just Brom, it's the entire blue team that's doing a lot of damage, and might even end the game with this push. All that we need to see is a 5-man push right now, but again, they're taking it slow right now, because they know that the game is in the bag. They do not want to throw it. They want to make sure that they win it easily without causing a lot of trouble, and that is exactly what they started doing. One after another, the other team is going down, but I think they overstepped just a bit, and Kali went down, but that doesn't matter. The game is up, and the first game has been won by the blue team, which is DR Runic. So two Roadie Banega has their work cut out for the second game, and it'll be really interesting to see if they can make a comeback.
So we both had our bets on the Roadie team, but the blue team played really well here.
Yes, of course. I
We
mean,
kind of underestimated them a bit here. Oh yeah.
true.
Because of the level of pace that they showed, I mean, they were able to catch legit before every fight they were catching someone and just taking the objective. He managed to take literally all the objectives in this game.
True, of course, that did happen, and that shows you that no matter how strong you are on paper, you have to make those plays happen. You have to execute your game plan accordingly in order to win the game, and that's something that DR Unit did in the first game. And of course, you can see they are 22-7 right now. And again, let's see what the second game will have in store for us. And that's that for the first game of this BO3 between DR Unique and to Roadie Banega. We'll be joining you after a very short break, so stay tuned with us. And if you haven't liked the stream, then please do. Okay. All right, guys, we are back for the second game between DR Unique and Anti-RR. That is two Roadie Banega. Alongside me, we have none other than Bishi. Hello, Bishi. What's up? Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. This will be a very interesting series. I feel because Runic have shown that these guys are pretty darn good, and it's going to be very interesting to see how Antier makes a comeback happen, right? Because the Sinch pickup, like we were discussing before the call, like it could be a difference maker as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the draft ends up panning out. But if the draft is a similar draft to how Game One was, I can definitely see Runic running away with the matchup.
Right. As per the bans, I think we are seeing some really amazing bans
Mm-hmm.
because Akali caused a lot of trouble in the last game, diving in the back line alongside Camille, causing a lot of trouble. So, yeah, they are making sure that that pick is definitely out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I like the adaptations for Anti-Ara, right? Definitely need to ban out Fizune Pansakali. That guy just literally made a big difference in a lot of the team fights in that game as well. And this is what you expect from an experienced team, right? If there is something you're not comfortable with, just ban it out, right? This game gives you 5 bans, right? So might as well make use of these 5 bans. And this is what exactly we are seeing two roadies Banega AK Anti-Ara do, right? So I'm looking forward to seeing how the picks end up coming out, right? Because we are seeing that Seth has opted for his Brom first pick, a very, very common pick that we have seen quite a lot in the previous meta from him as well. The Alistair pick definitely next did not work out for him because while he kept going in, he is also the first one to keep dying.
Yes, of course. I mean, me and Yash were discussing that those engages from Alistair have to be really good and on point. If you just dive in using your ultimate, it won't, be that beneficial. But again, we are seeing Alistair being picked by DR Unique. So it'll be really interesting to see if DR Unique can show anti-RR how to perfectly play Alistair.
I mean, this is a very interesting pickup as well because people like I don't know if people know much about Summoner of 5, but Summoner of 5's Alistair and Leona are probably one of the best in the Indian wildlife community in terms of number of games played and the the amount of experience he has. Right, I personally have played with Summoner of 5 a bit in rank queues as well, and I really like the fact that he is one guy that is not afraid to just go all in. Right, that's what I appreciate about him. Right, so now with the fact that Alistair is on the side of Runic. Let's see how well our boy Summoner 05 can actually show up in this Alistair. But on the other side, you are seeing a bit of like we were talking about how two Roadies winning a lag damage next, and just
Right.
that he said that, they ended up going for the Ziggs. So now we can definitely not say that by damage ki kami hai game mein. And now it's more about execution. But look at the Fizz pickup and the Hazel pickup. What are your thoughts on Runic's response to two Roadies winning as draft?
Of course, as you mentioned, damage की कमी तो बिल्कुल नहीं होने वाली because they have a poke machine with them that is Ziggs. But again, they are doing a very smart pick by taking Fizz into Ziggs because that Yodel might counter the other one.
Yeah, and I honestly think like that's a great pickup into the Ziggs right here, and it also depends a lot on how much peel can the Ziggs get. Now the Ziggs does have his own Zonia, can build his own Zonia as well, and in general you would assume that Ziggs' presence will be a lot higher. I like the bans coming out as well. The Vayne ban is very crucial for Runic because the Vayne ban essentially means that killing the Alice at this point is going to be very difficult because Vayne is one of the few champions in the current meta that I think is sleeper OP in the marksman pickup, and the fact that it's banned out is good. The Lee Sin ban seems a bit off. I mean, I'm not really sure if they think Camille will play Lee Sin. I think Camille probably is going to go for the Camille. The Camille will go for the Camille. But on the other side, I like the Baron bans coming out, the Darius and the Jace next. That means that whatever anti RR are playing in the Baron lane should not have a difficult counter, right? So if they are playing with the Camille top, then the Darius or the Jace would cause troubles for them. And on the other side, though, we are seeing a mastery hover right here. Lucifer, he did play mastery in the first game. Are you excited to see that pickup again? Because I
Not at
don't.
all.
Yeah, I like it, right? I don't think it works against Brom at all. Like, I think that's a bad pickup, but we'll have to wait and watch what they end up doing.
Yes, I have some personal grudges when it comes to Mastery and myself because, in fact, as you mentioned, the first game he picked up Mastery and he literally ran through Alpha Pack, which is my team, or I should say, which was my team.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, yes, I'm really excited to see what Lucifer Gaming has to, bring to the table because with his Mastery, he can cause a lot of trouble if the enemies are like super low. All he has to do is press his ultimate and then go in and just clean up everyone. But we'll see how that goes against people like Brom. Then you have Ziggs Kaisa, people that can dive you and kill you. So it'll be really interesting to see what Lucifer Gaming has in store for us.
Yeah, and again, they had one assassin already. They had the Fizz who could
Mhm.
go in the backline, and now they just doubled up on their assassins with the Mastery pickup as well. The Renekton pickup obviously would be good in lane as well, but then Daksh has gone for his tried and tested safety Garen pick. You can't really go wrong with
Mhm.
with the Garen. Also has his insanely
Right.
great outplay button. He presses one button and kills you, right? So now I have to say I like anti RR's draft a bit more. It seems well rounded off. And on the side of Runic, it feels like their composition is very snowball dependent. Not to say that they have a bad
Mhm.
draft, but they definitely have a draft that requires the mastery to snowball, right? And we've seen this in many games, right? If the mastery is shut down in the early game, if he does not get a way to get back in the game, he is utterly useless. He is more useless than a Soraka who's not attached to somebody. No, not Soraka, Yumi who's not attached to somebody, right? So we have to keep an eye on the early game. And I'm going to be very confident to see Camille just trying to take the scuttle crab control over their entire game to try to shut down the mastery, right? So I
Mhm.
feel like this could be two Roadies Vanega's comeback. But let me know what your thoughts are looking at both the drafts.
Well, again, as you mentioned, looking at the drafts, it definitely feels that anti-RR has picked a really good draft because in skirmishes, it will be really difficult for the Mastery to contest those minor objectives. And that too against a Camille. Yeah, yeah, good luck with that. But again, let's see how both these teams execute their plans because just like last time, the drafts were good, but the execution was something that was lacking.
Yep. The execution is something that we always keep talking about, at least in Indian Wild Rift, right? Because no matter how good drafts you have, seldom even the best drafts end up losing just because the execution on the side of teams is just not good. Now, here, I believe we might be looking at a remake because the Ezreal's in the middle, and there you have it. Yep, there would be some ping issues at this point. So, you know what? We get some time to talk more about the draft here as well. While we look to reconnect extremely quickly, it does look like one of the players did not log in. And recently, next, let's we have the time. Let's talk about the high ping issues, man. Like, do you also play in Indian lobby? Like, are you also facing certain high ping issues while playing, or is it fine for you?
Well, I make sure that I do not play in the Indian lobby because, as I mean, I've seen your streams a lot, and you do love playing in the Indian lobby. But yeah, not necessarily me. I hate playing in the Indian lobby. It just gets the worst out of me because I just tilt and I feel like just switching off the game and not playing anymore. So for me, I always prefer playing in the SEA lobby. For me,
Mhm.
that always works because you have the people that are coming in with some sort of game sense. Not saying that the Indian players that are playing are not having any game sense, but they choose not to use it.
I mean, you can say that they don't have the game sense. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but I agree. But everyone who's played Indian Lobby at this point, has come to our Valor India Discord and complained about who is this guy, who is this guy, and then try to tell them that you've made mistakes. So obviously, recently, we are seeing that the Bahrain lobby, the Middle East lobby, which is where Indians get to usually get matchmade, are having some ping issues. And just this is a public service announcement for everybody who is playing on the Indian server. Somebody on our Discord has given a solution to it. Apparently, if you are in an Indian lobby game and you have high ping, go to settings, navigate to dual channel communication. If it is off, then switch it on. And if it is on, then switch it off and switch it on again. Apparently, dual channel communication is for somehow helping these people get great ping again. So, if you are suffering from that again, I would definitely recommend trying this option out. We will, we don't know if it works 100% of the time, but even if it works half the time and it works for half of you guys, I think that's definitely great enough, right? So, we guys are just giving us a couple of minutes as we get into the lobby as well. We're trying to make sure that we're connecting to the right Singapore lobby so that at least people can play at a respectable ping given the current issues of the Indian lobby. But next, do you feel this game is anti-RR's comeback, and do you feel anti-RR, or rather two roadies Banega, have what it takes to do a reverse sweep against Runic in this best of three?
Well, keeping in mind that they've drafted really well in this game because the last time they had Singed that was potentially useless. So I do feel that anti-RR, aka Turodi Banega, will be making a comeback in this game. That's my prediction for the match. But guys, you can let us know your prediction in the comments and keep us updated with which team you are supporting in this game. So talking about Yumi, I think you mentioned that. Yumi is a cancerous pick at the start of the stream. So, have you had the chance to play Yumi, Bishi?
No, I haven't played any games today. I mean, Saturdays are working for your boy Bishi, so he's still waiting for a late night stream that I will. But just to let like Yumi is essentially made for male gamers to play with female gamers who don't like to play MOBAs but just want to play with their boyfriends, because she's one champion that absolutely requires no knowledge or skill to play. All you have to do is attach yourself to somebody and you can just play with them. But having said that, Yumi does very well against. Think of her as another enchanter like a Nami or a Lulu. Other than that, she will just stick around and heal people and give you certain amounts of AD, and her ultimate's a very good engage option. And in the mid game team fights, she can detach from her marksman and attach herself to a bruiser or a frontline, and then you can basically take a frontline and make him an engage, an initiator as well. So I would say
Hmm.
Yumi in the right hands, in the right compositions, is honestly pretty darn good. And I have to wait and watch how strong she might be. But I have to say, people who are playing against her will not find it easy to kill her, and will make it very difficult for her to, will make it very difficult for them to actually win games. So I'm looking forward to seeing Wild Rift, Yumi on Wild Rift. On PC, I've played her a lot, and it's always been annoying. But and
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure it'll be annoying here also. So yeah, brace
Right.
yourselves, whoever has to deal with that Yumi in their end games.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to mention that more than difficult, it's going to be annoying and irritating to play against a Yumi. And for those of you who haven't seen how Yumi is played, then yeah, please just go ahead and search it on YouTube, because yeah, that champion is quite cancerous and toxic at the same time.
Yep, and I think we are looking to get ready or get back into the game. The SGVPNs are ready. We should look to get back into the game because we have an exciting game in front of us, and I'm looking forward to seeing if Lucifer can continue his mastery win streak. But the fact that they've picked the mastery into a Brom is just a little bit sus right here. But apart from the Brom, they don't really have an insane amount of CC, right? Like Nick's like, yeah, I mean, there is Garen Silence, and to some extent you can even say the Camille stun, but it's a very hard skill shot to land, right? So it's not a
Right.
bad pickup. It's just the fact that if Brom is alive, and this is what Safe will do the whole game, right? He will just literally man mark how you do in football, right? Like you do man to man marking, right? From Brom's gonna man mark like the mastery in every sort of dragon team fight and herald team fight, and he's gonna make sure he just puts one stack on the mastery, and that's all there is to it, right? I think Brom is a very good counter to mastery amongst supports, right? So that's something I'll want to wait and watch, and I think hopefully we get into this game really soon, and we see some fireworks exploding, because Runic, they're 1 win away from going to the 4th round of the lower bracket, and Roadies, they have 2 more games to win, and this is a do or die game for them.
Definitely, definitely. So, as you mentioned, the Brom over here will have his work cut out with the mastery. But again, that's the beauty of League. You have to know every game will be different. So, you have to know what your roles and responsibilities are when it comes to the teamwork aspect of the game. And let's see how Brom copes up with that. And hopefully, he can, protect his squishies against mastery.
Absolutely, right? And this is where the start of the game happens, and what you are looking for specifically, right? Next is we have to wait and see what the pathing is. Oh my god, we might see another remake happening. So this is going to be an annoying situation. But ideally, we are looking at pathing in the early game. We have to wait and see where Camille ends up, pathing, and how, if she can catch up with the Master Yi.
Right.
Other than that, hopefully, I think players are still not moving from their bases, but it seems that they are trying to reconnect. So I'm not sure if the game has started, but it does look like Runic are just allowing to play. So guys, we might have a game in our hands finally. And next year, take it up. It looks like Master Yi started on the red side.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course, of course. So we can see that both the junglers are going ahead and taking their red buff. So we will be having a game on our hands. And okay, I think it's just a caster's curse over here. I just said that we might have a game on our hands, and exactly that's when the game got surrendered.
Yeah, I feel like this time it was two roadies Banega who decided that the ping was too high. We'll have to figure what exactly is happening. I feel like Baba, you should have somebody else make the lobby and you can just join in, or give somebody else the ownership and then see how that works, because sometimes it could happen that your VPN could be not giving them the right matchmaking that it requires. But yeah, guys, this
Might be.
is it's an unfortunate issue, right? Things that we are hindered with the ability to not play because of the fact that people are getting hyping. Yeah.
Mhm. True, true, true. I think the similar situation occurred last night as well, or last night, if I'm not mistaken. when I think Arc Wolves match was getting postponed a lot because of ping issues. And again, this is a very common situation being faced by the Indian players. Again, we do not have a server right now, so it's very hard for us to complain to anyone. But yeah, that's how the game situation of the game is at this point.
Yeah, and I think this time we are looking at hosting with somebody else in the lobby, guys. So do not go anywhere. We will be back actually in just like less than a minute. We just have to make sure that people are on the right VPN so that at least we can hope to get the Singapore lobby. This is what I miss, next, when you actually play Valorant on PC, you get to select which server you want to play in. And you get an option of India, Singapore, and like 7, 8 other options. And the
Mhm.
system just gives you the ping that you can expect. And this happens in custom lobbies. So I feel like something like that would be excellent for Wild Rift also, especially for custom games when you're trying to play in a particular server. Rather than the system trying to match you randomly, we can just select a particular server, let's say the Indonesian server or the Singapore server, and then we can just don't have to worry because you don't have to use VPNs anymore. You can just select the server in custom games and you can just go ahead and play without having to worry. But that's an option that only exists in Valorant so far.
Mhm.
Would love it if they could include it in Wild Rift.
Of course, it sounds like an amazing feature because I haven't played Valorant personally, so I did not know about that feature. But it sounds really amazing because if you get to locate the server where you want to play, then that's obviously a benefit because you would know what sort of a ping you'll be getting around that region. So yeah, again, Valorant moving really good with the game, and I hope that we can see the same thing happening in Wild Rift as well. So yeah, hopefully the third time we might get the game. But again, fingers crossed. I do not want to say anything out loud. Hopefully the game does not cause any more trouble to our players and also to our audience who have been waiting for this game for a long time now.
Yeah, I mean, you have to give kudos to our audience, right? There are 25, 30 people watching. Thank you guys for watching in spite of these ping issues. Like we said, we're always committed to bringing you a good Wild Rift India experience, and this is why we are doing the Wild Rift India Resurgence series. And so far, we've had a good tournament. We have had some really good teams from Bangladesh also, showing up huge, right? Like, next, we had some good teams from BD doing well. I think even Punchline is from Bangladesh, if I remember correctly, and they've made all the way up to the upper bracket finals, right? So, it should be really, really fun to see how this tournament does culminate. And like you said, we are keeping our fingers crossed without doing any caster curse. And Camille just takes a long time to select his pickup right here. But hopefully now that everything is locked in, this should be the last time, guys. Third time's a charm, like they said, next. Keep fingers crossed that we get a game on our hands.
Yes, of course. And as you mentioned, different teams have been showing up from different regions. Punchline, Cable Card Esports. There are a lot to name, but again, a lot of support being shown by the teams and also by you guys for the Resurgence series. And just from from an audience point of view, I wanted to ask you, Bishi, are there any more plans that you have for the Wild Rift India community? Because I'm sure everyone is really interested to know what plans we have in store for them.
Absolutely, right? So without revealing a lot right now, we have made plans all the way until the end of May for the Valorant community. So, the Resurgence series, this is just Act 1 of the Resurgence series. This will keep growing as we get more teams. We will continue doing Resurgence series every few months, and in between the Resurgence series, we also have a lot more fun community activities planned where even if you're not a team player or a part of an esports team, if you just like playing Wild Rift, we have a lot of events that you can just participate in. So make sure you join the Wild Rift India Discord to keep updated. But the best thing next is that we have a game on our hands. So let's get started.
Of course. We are seeing the game finally getting started, and both the teams are making their moves right now. A lot of leash being given to both the junglers, and I think they are all set to just get their gold in with their jungle camps and everything, and then start rotating and start ganking both these lanes. Of course, we'll be seeing a lot of poke happening from Ezreal in the early game. Kaisa obviously needs a lot of items to scale up right now. Probably not the most fun champ to play in the ADC lane, but yeah, Kaisa being Kaisa scales up really well towards the late game. So what do you reckon, Bishi?
Yeah, I think like Kaisen, Yeah, Kaisa in the current meta isn't really the strongest. I think in terms of Ezreal as well. Ever since they buffed his first ability, his ED ratio, he's just like very very strong right now. But Devesh, he's played a lot of Kaisa in the past, right? So eventually, when things go bad for them, they just go for the comfort picks. And like with comfort picks, that's what happens. Even if the champion is not meta, if you are so good at a given champion, you can make them work regardless of how strong they are. And that's exactly what's happening for Devesh. He knows that he's a great Kaisa player and he thinks he can make it work. And so far, the lane is going pretty even Stevens at this point. But I like the fact that Summonova has already made the rotation. And surprisingly enough, Camille is not opting to fight for the scuttle itself, opting to in fact trade the scuttles, which I feel is not the most aggressive option. But considering how good Summonova has been in the entire tournament in terms of his roams, and you can see him roaming right again on the top side, I feel like it's probably a smart decision considering the fact that he might have probably died if he had going for that basically.
Right. But obviously, we were expecting that Camille might be going in for the bottom scuttler, making sure that they contest more and more in the early game, because obviously with items in hand, Mastery will definitely be dictating terms. But right now in the early game, you can bully him if you engage in a pretty good fight. But yeah, as of now, we are seeing all the lanes farming a lot, getting as much as damage possible in, and just collecting as much as C as possible.
Yeah, this is what I like what Antiara is doing. Look at them; they've frozen the wave. Oh, a fight seems to be happening.
Right. So यहाँ पे I think the Alistair actually went in too deep, and because that had to pay the price. And over here we can see the kill going to the blue team. But I mean, if you have to say that one thing that went in favor of the blue team, or the red team, I should say, was that the kill went to Brom instead of Kaisa. So probably not the best move. And again, we are seeing Fizz go in right now, but he misses his ult, and because of that, he was not able to finish out Ziggs. But over here on the top side, we could see that the Renekton actually got the kill over Garen. So again, good plays being made by the red team and blue team aside.
Oh my lord, action happening all across the map, right? It started from the bot lane right here, and I think I caster cursed Summonova really bad, right? So spoke so many nice things about him, and it was just like going in ham and dying for absolutely no reason. Yeah, the Braum gets the kill, but that's still pretty bad for their bot lane. In the mid lane, good on the Ziggs to prevent or dodge the ultimate as well. But we have to talk about top side right now, right? Like Frosty has just put on an insane amount of pressure ever since the start of the game. And while Dux, he's a good pick, Garen player as well. The amount of aggression that Renekton had, I think it was only a matter of time before the 1v1 happened. So it's kudos to Runic right there, apparently, that they have actually gotten that for themselves, because that could mean a separate win condition on its own, where the Renekton gets so fed that he ends up becoming another split push menace, right? So I feel like great start for Runic and also a good start for Antiara, but the game is still even Stevens, and I think the first dragon will tell us a lot about how the game will go moving forward.
Right. In fact, the red team has also secured the vision over the river, so it will be really interesting to see if the blue team even contests this Drake. But again, if you give Mastery the Ocean Drake, it will be really tough for you to just contest him in team fights as well. So let's see which way the team fight goes around, because I think the blue team is going in right now and trying to burst down this dragon. Not sure if that will be possible, because the red team is coming in right now. The Braum is trying to keep them away along with the Ziggs mine, but the blue team has managed to get the dragon, and not just that, they are taking up kills. Ziggs gets one kill, but Fizz has also gotten one more kill. Renekton going ham at them and manages to get one kill. Not just one, he gets a double kill right now, and he is on a killing spree, as you can see. Ezreal also in the meantime gets a kill, but Garen on the blue side also got a kill. So again, kills being exchanged on both the sides of the map, and as you can see that the blue team has lost out on one or the two kills over here, and the red team has started off with the Rift Herald.
Yeah, I mean, that was honestly, when all was said and done, yeah, they got the dragon, but they lost 4 people. But never mind, another fight's about to happen next.
Oh my god, again. So the red team has secured the Rift Herald over here, but I think the blue team will start getting a few more kills. Garen going in and getting one more kill. Camille trying to secure another kill, but that wasn't supposed to happen. And again, good team fights happening. The score being 5-all at this point, and yeah, I think it's all even right now for both the teams.
Yeah, I mean the fact that how badly Roadie's Banega lost in the Dragon fight, I thought this is not going to be good for them. But they are able to make the recovery for the Herald because I feel Runic just got a little bit too greedy right, and this is where we see a bit of macro difference coming out, guys. You know, sometimes it's good to get the dragons, but it is not good to lose 4 people in that fight, right? The fact that it is an Ocean Dragon, in my opinion, it's not the most important dragon. You know, you spent all your time and effort trying to kill the dragon, but when the enemy started killing you and your Renton got a little fed, I think that's probably a net worse off trade for two Roadies Banega right here. The only saving grace was the fact that he did not get any of the kills. The Renton got all the kills, which is still a separate problem on its own, but it's still better than, you know, having Master get 3 kills. And the Renton is finding a little bit of a difficult time in the bot lane because now it's a 1v2 on the bot side.
So a lot of poke happening right now, but in the top lane we will be seeing the Herald being put down, and I think we will be seeing a dive from the red team. Not too sure if it's very wise for Daksh to stay over there because the turret will be going down, and I think yeah, with that we are seeing a proper engage done by the red team. Kamil trying to save Garen right now, but with a beautiful ultimate, I think he was able to secure the kill. Camille in the meantime is going in, probably might get killed in the process, but oh my god. And here we go, Lucifer Gaming is on a roll with a double kill over here. I think it's about time that he comes in the game and starts taking a lot more doing a lot more damage.
I have to like criticize Garen a little bit right here. He had the perfect opportunity to ultimate the Ezreal kill, but instead of using his ultimate, his judgment on the Kaisa, he ends up using his judgment on the Mastery, and the Mastery does not die. That would have been a secure for him, and that would have been a decent net trade for them. But at the end of the day, the first towers for both the teams did not go down. The Renton actually ended up dying, so Antiara got a little bit better of the trade, I would say, because the shutdown ended up going over to the Kaisa right here. On the other side as well, though Master he getting 2 kills, not good at all, right? So again, you are seeing equal amounts of trades happening on both the teams right here, but it does look like, you know, Anti-RR or rather 2 Roadies Banega could have done a little bit better with the trades so far, and unfortunately not working out. And at the end of the fight, Fizz got a kill as well, right? So the Fizz getting fed, the Master E getting fed is not looking good, but you know what, Roadies Banega get the first star of the game. I think no, not the, they don't get the first star, Ezreal gets the first star. So yeah, I think slowly and steadily things, it looks like like Roadies Banega might be in trouble because the Fizz has gotten kills, the Master has gotten kills, and you know, Operation Snowball to some extent has gone live.
Of course. I mean, they did get the first turret, but again, the turrets were exchanged on both the sides of the map because Kaisa, on the other hand, got the bottom turret. So I think the side turrets have gone down, but let's see how the next dragon fight pans out because the next dragon, which is the Mountain Drake, has summoned, and let's see what happens in this fight. What do you reckon, Bishi? Which team has the more advantage going in this fight?
I feel like, again, you know, like depends on how the initiation happens. If they're able to catch the Mastery and then kill him, then I feel like there is a world where they can easily get it. Now the fact that the Fizz ult has actually been blown is very, very good for Roadies Banega as well, but that's a very interesting zone usage as well. And wow, Fizz does survive. Fizz in my pants, true to them, doing really well, and they wish he is the carry we're looking to see. And beautiful second ability for Camille as well. They get the stun. This is what we were looking for next right here. And I feel now, you know, 2 Roadies Banega seem to have the comeback for themselves.
Right, what a beautiful engage that was. And over here we are seeing kills getting exchanged. But yeah, Garen also goes in and gets a kill for himself. He does not want to stay out of the fight for too long. And yeah, Camille going in and might have also got a kill if the team would have tried to stay with him. But again, the dragon not being taken by either of the teams, so it's up for grabs. But yeah, how many kills? I think a kill apiece for both the teams were exchanged in this fight.
It was, and you could see right now, right? I think the engage from Fizz did not work out. The Mastery got, you know, Brom stacked, and you have to give MVP to Kamil on the side of Roadies Banega because Kamil really carried that team fight so hard for his team. If it wasn't for him, it would have still been a great victory for Runic. But you know what? Next, the Dragon fight is still left to be taken, and this time Runic are the ones who have looked to start it.
Right. So let's see what will happen because DR Runic has started off with the dragon fight. They might be going back because Ziggs still has his ultimate, but he has used it in vain. Not too sure if the Fizz is doing what it was required to do, but he has gone down to Kaisa. But Ezreal in the meantime has taken care of Kaisa, and we are seeing a fight breakthrough. And over here, the Ezreal is positioning himself perfectly at this point, and DR Runic is making work of 2 Roadie Banega. And here we are seeing I mean, I think it's a double kill by to Roadie Banega? Yeah. So that was perfectly executed team fight by the red team. And over here, they managed to get about 4 kills. And along with that, they will also be getting the Mountain Drake. So with the Mountain Drake on their side, I think it will be really tough for the blue team to make a comeback. What do you reckon?
Yeah, this is exactly what I fear about this composition. Right? Yes, Roadie's Banega killed the Fizz, great for them, right? But it does not matter when the Mastery is still alive. The Nectin did everything in this world to tank as much damage and take as much focus as he could. This allowed the Mastery in the back to just get free kill for himself. It's a 4-for-1, and the Dragon goes to Runic as well. Runic, I think, with the composition they have now, with how fed Mastery is, how strong of a frontline the Renekton is, and how badly Garen's judgment targeting is. Again, he ended up not killing the Renekton using his ultimate. It's just like poor targeting choices on the side of Garen are honestly making life very difficult for these Renekton.
Alright, we are seeing again a team fight erupt over here in the mid lane, but I'm not too sure if that will change the course of the game, because yes, they have taken down one of the team players, but it won't be too much of a difference. Because as we mentioned, the Braum and the Garen, they have to position themselves correctly. They have to make sure that the squishies don't go down too early, which is happening. That's what I feel, because Ziggs is getting targeted. Even Kaisa, for that matter, is getting targeted quite easily. And there's not much that those squishies can do in a team fight if the entire teams actually go up on them.
Yeah, I mean, they're not properly doing the front to back as well. The Braum should be in the front line trying to peel as well. The Garen should be the one soaking all the damage as well. But it just like, again, I mean, I don't mean to go on the same harping horn as well, but the Garen really has to tank for his team. He really needs to be like, very precise with his ultimate as well. He has to hit the low targets and kill them, right? Twice or thrice in a row, he's failed to, make the big difference maker for his team right here. And if that continues, then I don't think Roadie's going to have a comeback for themselves. This is Runic taking it away all the way. And if you look at the items, right? 3 completed items on the Mastery, 9.8k gold, the highest. No, the Lenten has highest, but still he has 3 completed items, which is looking very, very strong for him at this point. He will absolutely annihilate everybody on the side of Roadie's Banega, including the Garen at this point, right? If he is left unchecked, and if he's not focused and killed, there is no way in the world Roadie Banega will come back from any sort of team fight, right? So they have the Ziggs, they can use the Ziggs to poke, right? They can use the Ziggs to poke, they can make sure that they have a good front to back competition going for themselves. But if team fights are haphazard, that is where Runic really tends to shine. And I think at this point, the fact that they've gotten the Scuttle Vision of Baron is very, very important, because this will prevent Runic from doing any sort of a sneaky Baron. And again, this game is hanging by a thread for Roadie's Banega. One more bad team fight and it's all over.
Right. So I think this shows you the power of comfort picks, because Mastery, again, not the most popular picks in the meta right now, but if played by the correct players, it can make a world of difference. And that's exactly what we are seeing right now. Though our Lucifer Gaming does not have the most amount of gold, but still he is probably the most powerful champion in the game at this point. And I think again, Alistair overextending a little bit, but obviously he wasn't punished too much for that. And we'll see how the game goes on from here. Again, a lot of poke coming from Kaisa as well. And Mastery, we are seeing him go ham right now. A team fight has again adapted a beautiful TP coming in from Frosty, and I think Mastery has now got a taste of blood, and he is going in with, I think, a couple kills being confirmed by the blue team. The blue team, in fact, manages to get one more kill, but the Fizz being really low. I'm not too sure if he'll be able to help out over here or not. But again, Mastery is the one we are talking about, because he's getting one kill after another, but Camille manages to take him down, but not before losing out a lot of species in the meantime. Garen, the lone survivor, I'm not too sure as to what he can do right now, but I think the mid turret is going down, and Ezreal will be the one taking it down.
I mean, finally we saw, the Garen doing what he's supposed to do in these team fights. Had he done this in the last couple of team fights, then Roadie's Banega would have not fallen so far behind. The problem is right now it's too late. They've lost 4 people on the side of Roadie's Banega at the cost of 2 on the side of Runic as well. The Master E is in a position where exhaust does not matter. He can just go in like a madman and still have enough DPS to hit out. And Fizz in my pants in that last team fight, hitting the backline and killing the Ziggs. Absolutely phenomenal job for him. And Kamil again is the only guy on the side of Roadie's Banega who is looking to keep his team alive at this point, because he got the mastery right. If the mastery had not died, that would have been a straight up Baron and possibly GG on the side of Roadie's Banega right here. But if the third dragon to go and the Ziggs are being wasted, I am looking forward to seeing how this team fight pans out.
Again, Ziggs ult being wasted, as you mentioned, and I think the Alistar has again gone in, and that is exactly what it needed to do over there. Garen ult being wasted again, but Camille has taken down Alistar at this point, but I'm not too sure if that will be of any use because the red team is going in right now, but the blue team seems to be a lot more confident in this team fight, and Camille has managed to get one more kill. Fizz in the meantime has got one, and over here we are seeing Mastery go ham. But again, Camille keeping the blue team alive in this game by getting a triple kill, and with that, I think the team fight seems to be even in favor of the red team.
Yeah, it's a 4-for-4. SJ gets the tower, but damn, oh damn. Finally, you could see the front to back happening so well, right? The Alistar was there. The Garen ultimate on the Alistar definitely did help. Though I feel he should save his save his Garen ultimate for the mastery and completely burst him down, right? They got the Fizz very early in the game, and Camille again just played so well right here. And so did Devish before he finally succumbed right there. And I think the mastery at the very end ended up going inside the tower and dying, which was a little bit too much. And the Ezreal red buff ended up killing the Camille as well, right? So what a close team fight we saw from both teams. It went to 4-for-4. The Dragon is still up, Nix, and again, you are seeing the fact that Roadie's Banega can win these team fights if they just end up focusing the right people and the right champions. If they are able to get the mastery or the Fizz, they potentially are going to win out these team fights, and that's something we have to wait and watch. The Braum will be pivotal to kill the mastery, and the Ziggs needs to stay alive through a lot of these team fights. His positioning, if he gets flanked through any situation, he is pretty much going to be dead because there's not really anybody else feeling for him apart from that Braum who might just be busy trying to stack up on people as well. So yeah, the next dragon fight is still about to happen, and I'm curious to see what happens. They might just give it up from the looks of it.
Well, let's just see what will happen, because if the Fizz manages to save his ult, but I don't think that will be required because the red team has actually secured the dragon and probably might be moving towards the Baron right now, because I think they're quite fed when it comes to gold. They are ahead by about 6 or 6.5k, and I think yes, they have decided to take the Baron Nashor right now. Not too sure if that's the right move, but they are quite confident that they can take down the blue team even if it's required to.
Yeah, the thing right here is the fact that Ziggs has also used his stasis in the bot lane while trying to get the Herald. So if any team fight happens in the next 30 to 50 seconds, he will not have his stasis up. In fact, he does not have his stasis up for the next 25 seconds. So I think for now, Roadie's going to still have to wait. And I've noticed that he's actually safe playing Ziggs in the mid lane. His jungle is playing Braum, right? So I think the fact that they don't have Kisley playing today might be another problematic issue for them, because Kisley generally is their main mid laner, and hence you are seeing a bit of difference in what compositions as well as the playstyle of Roadie's Banega in general, right? But now we're at the 20-minute mark next, and the mastery, like we said, is fed, does not have a GA, mind you, does not even have an upgraded boost, and also has a mortal reminder. Okay, I'm not sure.
I think he's just being cocky right now without the mortal reminder. So without the GA in his hand, I think he can go in, but I'm not too sure as to how much he can survive with that.
That's a very stupid or weird build of mastery. Like, you're going Ghostblade and mortal reminder. I mean, it doesn't make sense other than the fact that you're just your mastery. You do damage, so build any damage item, it'll work. I think that's the logic behind that mastery build right here. Having said that, however, the Fizz is at 3 items. The Ziggs also is at 3 items, right? So let's not underestimate Roadie Banega right here, right? If they honestly can just win out these team fights, if they're able to put out a lot of damage or dish out a lot of damage, but they have to get the priority targets, which are going to be the Fizz and the mastery. Now that we are in a stalemate of a game right here, typical Indian lobby meta. Don't know what to do, just push waves and wait for the Elder Dragon to spawn, and exactly that's what's happening. Because right now, Runic are trying to play bait in a position where there's no way in the world Roadie Banega will actually even go that far. And Garen, surprisingly enough, has become tanky that he should be able to not die instantly to the mastery.
Right. So as we can see, the red team and the blue team are near the Baron Nashor because they know that the next objective, that whichever team gets the next objective might dictate the terms. Because the gold lead, yes, I do agree, is in favor of DR Runic, but again, all it takes is one team fight to change the course of the game, and that is exactly what Roadie Banega is wishing for. Because as of now, they are falling behind. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, right now the goal lead is like 6k in favor of Runic, but once you enter later stage into the game, right, next that 5-6k goal doesn't really matter. It just matters that do your carries have enough items. And if you look at the Ziggs, if you look at the Fizz, if you look at the Kai'Sa as well, right, they definitely have more than enough items. So at this point, don't even underestimate Kai'Sa's damage anymore, right? If the Kai'Sa gets free reign to kill the Master Yi, like couple of seconds or three, the Master Yi will literally go down to 0 HP, right? So we have to wait and watch. As you can see, a ban has been attempted from Runic.
Oh my god, so this will be really interesting to see as to what will happen right now. Ziggs actually uses art, Fizz actually uses art, and Ziggs also uses art, and now we are seeing the team fight break out, and we can see the Mastery is in action. He got one kill, the Renekton also managed to get one more kill, and over here I think we are seeing the red team dictate terms, and that's exactly what they've done. They've actually aced the blue side and might even end the game from the mid lane. Not too sure if that's the right move, but keeping in mind
for 40 second dead time, they can literally take the Nexus twice at this point, just have somebody tank the game. But like we said, like the team fight, it just gotten too late, right? Fizz is so darn strong right now. The GA also really helping out a Renekton from surviving for dishing out another damage, right? They focused everything on the Renekton. The Master Yi was at the back hitting people, and this one he had so much damage. The weird build actually helped him out to kill people as well. And now Runic with the Fizz, Master Yi, Alistar composition have actually won the match against two Roadies Banega, and they will move on to the fourth round of the losers bracket, making quite a name for themselves in this game. Nix, what are your thoughts on Runic and their performances so far in the tournament?
Again, I mentioned this before the stream started that DR Unique has had some journey. They lost the game in the upper bracket against Alphabets, but after that, they have shown a lot of promise. Again, not ruling out to Roadie Banega, because again, Ziggs did put a lot of performance in, because he got 32.6k damage. That's a lot considering that the other team was ahead in terms of gold and in terms of kills. Getting so much of damage in means a lot. But again, kudos to the red side for winning the game and moving ahead in this round.
I mean, the fact that people are playing Mastery and still winning just tells the state of the Indian meta right now. The fact that teams does not know how to deal with snowbally picks will help them get better at the game as well. But kudos to Runic, nothing to take away from their victory so far, playing really well. And while they move on to the next round, we'll have to wait and watch. Can Lucifer Gaming continue his Mastery domination? He is undefeated in the tournament so far on that pickup right here. And as we head further into the tournament next, we will see better and better teams, right? So somebody out there might just stop them, and obviously at the line you have skirmishers waiting for them. So we will never ban his Mastery. So we'll wait. We'll love to let him pick Mastery into us and see what happens. But yeah, for now, we'll take a very quick break, guys. Thank you, Nick, so much for joining us in this BO3. And we will start the next best of 3 in just a few minutes. So do not go anywhere. Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Wild Rift India Resurgence season. Today, we have a very exciting co-caster joining us. It's going to be none other than Naga Krauser, aka Akam Tamsu. Kuma, how are you doing, buddy? It's great to have you on mic because I remember this takes me back to our Wild Rift India
Yeah,
podcast days, if anyone
exactly.
remembers those. And now
Yeah,
having you here again is just like nostalgia.
yeah. I mean, that's where it all started, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it goes back to the time when Wild Rift was announced. Like, we're going to be getting it, and then like you hopped onto my messenger and you were like, "Hey, wanna like open this community and do that?" And
Oh.
that's where it all started, right? And then we had the first podcast on your channel, like, and then like, yeah, I know. And during that time, I had a really really bad camera, so like we had to adjust on Discord with my phone and all.
And now it looks so darn clean, right? I think you have the same camera I do, right? So the next
Yeah,
time we
yep,
have a
yeah,
podcast,
exactly.
I think we should bring back the Wild Rift podcast series when we are a little
Yep,
closer to
yep, yep.
launch, right?
Yeah,
So
I mean, there's a lot of things that we can do, right? Because since even you have been playing the PC version of League, plus even me, right? So like, even when we talk about some certain champions that is going to release, right? Like we can talk about so many things, and even I'm pretty sure the community will appreciate it, right? Knowing like the top tier player that you are, and me knowing I'm a trash Yasuo who just love eating the game. So yeah, I think they'll love a bit masala of everything, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, absolutely. I think as one thing we definitely know, the Indian audience loves masala, so we'll hopefully try to bring that back right here. But let's get back into the second game of this lower bracket round three, right? We are in the Resurgence series, mind you, and we're in the lower bracket, right, Kumar? Which means that
Yep.
if you lose from this point, you're out of the tournament. So
Yeah.
it's a do or die situation. On the blue side or on the left side, we have Team Duel top. And on the right side, we have Annihilators. Annihilators came into the tournament when Aphelion sort of just backed out, and they are a
Hmm.
strong team, right? Like they have I Nocturnal, they have old school AK RTG, they have Badsha, they have Forlorn, and on the other side TDT, right? They have a great Rengar one trick. They have a lot of good players as well who are very promising. So, what are your thoughts on this series, right? Because it does look like Annihilators might be a bit overpowered,
Hmm.
but as you know, it's not just about ranks; it's all about how you synergize as five in a team, right?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, if we look at it, like, if I have to place a vote, then I'll obviously be on the right side, right, on
Mhm.
Annihilator, because if you look at how they have come so far, or like, if you look at individually, right, they're a really, really strong team. But yeah, without any further delay, can we move on to the draft? Because I'm pretty sure people are excited for this
Yeah, I mean,
epic match.
we definitely are excited for this match as we head into the draft stage. TDT are on the blue side. Remember, Yumi has launched, but we are not allowing Yumi to be played throughout this
Hmm.
tournament
Hmm.
because you generally wait 1 or 2 weeks before that happens. The things that you have to look forward to in the ban phase, Kuma, I'll tell you, is the fact that Rengar should be banned because Cat goes meow.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
as his name suggests, is pretty good. I feel Akali has to be banned because I Nocturnal plays a very mean Akali. Yasuo also on Forlorn side. Bacha plays everything, so it shouldn't be another concern for them. But yeah, these are like some of the six that you should look forward to. And like we said, the Yasuo is the first ban coming out on the side of TD. Do not want to give that away. Like you said, Kuma, you play
Hmm.
Yasuo, definitely an annoying champ to play against.
Yep. No, and then like the team should be built around Yasuo, right? And then Yasuo is the kind of a champion even now, like especially with Brute Force getting nerfed and Triumph being into play, right? So you can just go ham, and then if you're able to come out with a kill, then you're not gonna die because you're just gonna get some health back. Yeah. And also if you get your crit item early into the game, then he's gonna be dishing out a lot of damage. So like banning out the Yasuo, like I'm like okay with it. I just wanted to see some Yasuo popping up, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine, no worries. And also like
Yeah,
Cannon and
I'll
Galio.
explain. I'll
Yeah.
explain you the Kennen man. Right, Steel was a rank 40 or rank 30 Kennen at the time of the day. He was a Kennen one trick with some 5 or 6,000 mastery points.
Mhm.
Nowadays, he's moved on to playing a lot more other champions, but the Kennen is still a respect band given to him. And Galio, of course, India's national pride. Everyone loves to play Galio. Everyone doesn't know how to play against a Galio. The amount of
Yep.
CC that he offers is very good. And the other side, the Lee Sin ban against Bacha and Lucian ban against RTG because RTG, aka old school, really
Mhm.
comfortable on that Lucian as well, has a lot of power. And like we said, the final Rengar ban coming out. So
Yep.
definitely target picks coming out, which is good, right? Because you don't want people to have comfort level picks. The Akali is still left
Exactly.
open for Nocturnal, I feel, and the Darius pickup quite strong in the meta. I think that's a good pickup, but there are champions like Set that can be played into the Darius Kuma, and we've
Mhm.
seen Nocturnal in the past play a very good set, so might just be not the right
Yep.
option for him. And like you said, the set gets picked. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, I'm not pretty sure whether they're comfortable playing the set or not. Maybe that's one of the main reasons why they left it open. Because generally, when you're playing against a team which you know properly, right? Because pretty sure like all the teams on the right side, like they are known in the community as well, right? And then they know what kind of champions they play, right? So instead of taking the Darius, it would have been really good to see the set being picked up. Like, and I guess they're going for the comfort picks on the top side of the map, right? And also,
Yeah, I
like
mean,
you said, Darius is really, really strong at the moment. So let's see what happens.
yeah, so the side pickup is very predictable from the side of Annihilators because they played it last time as well. But I feel what's happening here is
Hmm.
TDT feel that it's fine if you give them the set. The Darius in team fights, Kuma, as you all know, I've played
Hmm.
Darius.
Yep.
You
Yep.
get 5 stacks and you still have insane team fight presence. I think he will just try to play the leading phase a little bit safer so that he doesn't, lose in the
Hmm.
1v1s, but that he can definitely shine in the team fights right here. And on the right side, they've taken a very safe and a very potent Kaisa Nami for themselves.
Hmm.
Uh, and then the response to that is actually going to be the Braum and the Morgana, which could potentially mean a Morgana jungle. Because
Yep.
believe it or not, Kuma, that's a thing right now. Morgana jungle
Yeah.
clear speed has been buffed, and that's a pick you can actually take in the jungle lane.
Yeah, and also on top of that, Morgana, like, I guess because of the respect ban coming out, because generally we don't see Morgana much, right? We don't
Mm-hmm.
get to see Morgana in action because of his shield and also his cooldown reduction. It's like so busted at the moment. Like, do you think Riot is
Absolutely.
gonna nerf that pretty soon
I
or
mean,
no?
they bug fixed the Morgana Q, which earlier could not be reduced by tenacity. Now it can.
Hmm.
But the jungle buff just make her life a little bit easier. I do feel, however, they need more damage. Morgana herself is good in situations, and they have a lot of CC, but now they need to back it up with damage. And you can see right now that the Ziggs ban, the TF ban, they definitely they very well know that this Morgana is not a mid pickup; it's a jungle pickup, and they're looking to ban all sorts of heavy damage dealers
Hmm.
in the side of the mid lane, which I feel is nice. Let's have a look at what the other bans are going to be. So they are looking to target Bacha here, which I feel is good. A Nunu ban here will be really, really good because that really limits Bacha's options for engaged junglers, right? The
Yep.
bans you can see, right? The Nunu, the Lee Sin, the Jarvan, right? Now there are a lot of things that Bacha can play, but these two champs would have been very difficult to play against. And the fact that I really like TDTs and Annihilators ban phase, right? They're genuinely banning the right champions on both sides of the team.
Yeah, I mean they don't want to give any advantage. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
giving all the respect they can, and also I'm really happy to see like they're focusing on Bacha in the second phase of the round, right? And like you said, banning out Lee Sin, Jarvan, and even Nunu, right? So Bacha is like at the moment he's limited in one way. I wouldn't say limited, but then yeah, they're taking away all the champions that he can play, but then they still have the Xin Xiao open, and I think like Xin Xiao is still viable. Like if you look at initiation and like with his ulti also, right? He can just go in and he can just go out easily, right?
Absolutely. There's still a lot of picks that can be played in the jungle lane. I'll have to wait and see
Mhm.
what happens. But here you can see right now, right? The Akali gets picked up for Forlorn in the mid lane, which, the reason they banned out TF is so that the Akali doesn't get seen. Ziggs because she can play safe. But what I really like is the fact that in the mid lane, in response to the Akali, Steel has picked
Mhm.
Jace. So Jace, as you know, is a physical damage dealer, but they have Morgana to bring in the magic damage, right? So
Yep.
overall they still bring mixed damage, and Jace in the mid lane against an Akali should be a lane bully. But like you very correctly predicted, Kuma, they actually have the Zinzao in the
Mhm.
jungle lane, which is going to give them that early game oomph, right? And a little bit of another initiation and engage option, which will make Morgana's life a little bit harder in the early game because if in a 1v1 situation happens and the Zin catches out the Morgana, I don't think the Morgana survives at all in the early game.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing, right? In the early stages of the game, it's all about warding where Morgana, like if they have knowledge of where Morgana has started or where Morgana's parting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Xin can easily go and just, harass Morgana because early game Morgana has no damage at all, right? And with the support from like they can just go inside the jungle with the support from Nami. Like Nami can just shield and heal a Xin So let's see whether they will go for it in bed or whether they're going to respect each other and go to the respective jungle. But I would really love to see Bacha going for the enemy jungle, invading it because they have a lot of potential early game. Like if you look at the early game coming out from Annihilator.
Absolutely, guys. And this is it, guys. The semi-final, so not semi-final, so round three,
Hmm.
best of three is starting right here. Let us know in chat who you think has one draft or you think has the better draft, right? Because it is going to matter at the end of the day. Remember, it's a best of three series. This is the lower bracket, right? So if you lose from here, you are out of the tournament. So everything is up for grabs in this series right here. On the blue side, you have Team Dual Top, and on the red side, you have Annihilators. Kuma, they have Brom. Are you expecting any sort of level 1 shenanigans coming out, or do you feel as if Annihilators are just gonna play it safe and not worry about the Brom engage?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly feel like they're just gonna play it safe. Like,
Mhm.
I don't see that I mean, I don't see it happening. Like they're just gonna play it safe. I feel like, once I mean, in this match they are the underdogs, right?
Yeah, they sort of are the
Yeah.
underdogs. Yeah, the blue team are the underdogs, but I mean, they definitely can beat them. Let's be honest. I mean, I feel like slight favorites. Yes, you could say the red team is, but the blue team, if they are no slouches, they are a great team themselves, and if played right, they definitely can easily take games off of Annihilators as well. So as we get into the game, Kuma, like you said, no sorts of invades coming out. Both teams just happily going to the respective lanes. Morgana starts on her blue buff, and let's just keep an eye on the Morgana in the early game. Let's see if she does the double camp strat that is very popular, Kuma, nowadays. You know what you do is you take the blue, you take the Grom,
Come
and then you try
together,
to
no?
get. Yeah, let's just see if the Morgana is doing that or not. I'm very looking
Yeah,
forward to
she
see
is.
that
She
behavior.
is.
Yeah, but Baba needs to go to that POV and show it on the stream also. Baba, like, what the hell are you doing? There you go. So yeah, this is the strategy we're talking about. This is what makes Morgana really strong in the current meta, Kuma, is because you can clear the fastest out of any jungle champion in the game, right? And you can do the same thing with the Raptor and the red buff also. So let's just keep an eye out on that jungle pick itself to show you how Morgana jungle works in the current meta. Yep.
And I'm really happy to see, like, I mean, our local teams like getting involved in all this, like stepping it up and checking out what others are doing, and involving that, inscripting that into our current meta. So that's gonna shape the entire match. And also,
Absolutely.
yeah. And how's everything in like the Indian lobby right now? Like, people, are they following this, or right now? Like,
Morgana
still
jungle
playing
gets
on-
played, but I would say Cat Goes Mia is one of the few people who just genuinely played
Okay,
more.
okay.
In the top side, you see another 1v1 happening, and this is what we spoke about. The flash was nicely played, but yet again, the trades end up going in favor of the set. This is a matchup difference, ladies and gentlemen. Set with his Haymaker just has a lot more HP, and I could see what the Dice had to do right here. Oh, the flash on the Kaisa as well, just to make sure that she does not get binded. She was going to survive the end of it anyways, but the flash is still good. But Bacha comes as well. The smite might be a bit too late. Fallon is in low HP as well. He should run away. The shield from the Morgana, the binding from the Morgana, the Jace with the hammer gets another kill back. It's a 1-for-1. Not a 1-for-1, one kill on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
Off to an explosive start for both teams.
Yeah, I mean, when Darius went down, I actually felt really bad for the team, because like Darius giving a kill to Sat, that's not what you want, right? But then they respond by killing off the jungle and also by stealing off the blue buff as well. So they're doing a pretty good job in like scouting out everything.
Yeah, I mean, you have to give them credit, right? So just in case you guys didn't know, Bacha just came off playing a Pokemon Unite tournament. So, he has been through a lot of pressure. He went to a 5-game series right here. And at this point, the better team coordination just won, right? The
Yep.
team of TDT just, grouped better and they got the kills for themselves.
Yeah. But then at the moment, like, things are going steadily. If you look at the goal chart as well, like, nothing much has changed, right? And also, as you can see, Morgana's fucking, he's just checking whether Bacha has cleared it off or not, and he's just gonna go for a recall. And they're gonna come up with the item, and Raptor has just spawned, so that's gonna cancel Morgana's teleport, and then she's gonna go back and
Yeah, she wants to go for that, go for the Raptor right here, but then the Zinza will to spot her, and look, Cat Goes Meow. A lot of credit to this guy, already level 6 right here, and now he's looking to go and gank the top lane, which I don't know if it's the best option considering the set is very stanky as well, and then this is going to be a non-gank in the top side. The effort wasn't really there to gank, it was just to show presence. And like you said, Kumar, the goal lead is slightly in favor of the blue team. The set difference, not that bad. It's a 300 goal deficit, but the wave is pushing towards Darius, which means he's still not, completely very, very behind in the game so far. He, in fact, should be just okay as long as he does not give another kill. But the first dragon spawning, Kuma, with the first Herald, Mountain Dragon, 5v5 team fights. Talk to me about how you think that might go.
I mean, I honestly feel like getting a first turret, but then Mountain Drake coming into the later sections again is really important as well, right? But then for me, at the moment, Wild Rift, I prefer Infernal Drake over any Drake, right? So I'm pretty sure they're gonna just go for this Herald and get the first tower and give the plating to Sid, maybe.
Yeah, the set getting platings is good, and I like this commitment from Annihilators, right? They instantly at 4 minutes start the Rift Herald, And like on the other side, TDD do respond for the dragon for themselves, but they are a little bit slow. Mind you, it's basically a handshake deal at this point. You get the herald, I get the dragon, and I think both the teams should be happy with that trade. But that does mean that the Set and the Zinzao will end up using Hell in the top side and will potentially get the first link tower for themselves. And here you can see Darius actually putting a lot of damage as well, and Set could potentially be in trouble right here. The first tower might not have gone yet. Never mind, it will still go.
No, never mind. It has gone.
Yep. So
I mean,
Goldman now they're in the lead now. Online.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's like a really good play coming out from Team Annihilator, right? Like, giving, like, Set is already ahead, and you know, right, when a Set gets ahead into the game, you can do so much. So, and also with that, there's a team fight happening in the
There is a team fight happening at this point, and they are able to instantly kill off the Kai'Sa, but not before the Akali gets a return kill on the marksman. The binding misses, the Braum misses, everybody misses at this point. The exhaust on Akali's face, but the Jace will be there to get the kills, but not before Set with a good ultimate onto the Braum, but a nice flash from Steel will make sure he does not die. A beautifully played Braum game coming as well. The Baron, oh, it's a nice shield as well. The binding still there, does not have the cooldown, it looks like. Bacha almost got a kill for himself, but it was still a 1-for-1 at the end of the day. In fact, I think they got a 2-for-1 actually in the day, so TDD come out a little bit ahead in the team fight, and not bad all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this game, I thought it'll be pretty one-sided, but looking at how the other team is playing, right, the blue side are playing, I'm really happy to say. And also, Kai'Sa gets binded. Like, I thought he would be able to sidestep that, but then Kai'Sa has a lot of damage, so she's gonna walk away. But yeah, 3 flashes were burned, and also Bacha, I feel like it went to his head. They went for the tower dive, but it feels sad to know that they couldn't get a recovery kill out of that. But then at the end of the day, all the flashes were burned. So
the next team fight will definitely determine what's happening, and casually Steel, eating all his underfoods at 100% HP, because why the hell not? But we have to talk about this, right? The fact that Darius got the first tower back, which means that he's not falling that behind in gold, right? And the Morgana pickup as well. Oh, this Jace with the damage. Oh my lord, that EQ damage doing a lot for himself. And TDT right here, we might have called them slight underdogs in this team, but they are looking to, be very strong in the current game.
Yep. I mean, honestly speaking, I like this underdog story, like they're coming out on top, like giving the biggest.
We all do, Kumar. We all love supporting the damn underdogs. You can see another fight's about to happen. Morgana will get double stun as well, and this is going to be very bad for the situation. Fuckboy looks to get the dunk. There you have it. Another auto attack. One more dunk is all you need. There you have it. Double kills for Darius. There you have a triple kill. This could be a penta for our boy Darius. Kill. Give him the penta. He asks, he cries, and he gets it. There you have it. Darius with the penta kill. TDT. Get the ace onto Annihilators.
I'm pretty sure you must be so excited right
I
now.
was very excited, Kumar. I love Darius penta kills.
And then, like, how you predicted in the early game in the drafting phase, right? That is what happened. You said how strong Darius is, right? And they didn't manage to get a kill, but at the end of the day, he got a tower. He got a tower all for himself, and with that, he was in the lead. And right now, he pops off with a pentakill. And early game into the stages, letting a Darius get a free pentakill. I mean, letting the Darius get a pentakill, that's gonna cost him a lot. Like, all the investment done on Eye Nocturnal is all gone to waste, right? Because if you look at the goal difference between Fuckboy and Eye Nocturnal, right?
Oh, it's night and day at this point. The Darius is like, bring it on, brother. Set schmet, brother. I'll kill you right here. But I think Steel at this point might have bitten off a bit more than he can chew. Beautiful flash protoped. I have to commend TDT on their escapisms, like the Braum as well with the second ability and running away. This guy with the flash protocol, very clean escapes. It seems like a practice team, TDT right here. Annihilators have been recently found, but you know what? That a practice makes perfect, Kumar. It does look like TDT are definitely the ones who have practiced a lot. And the Herald happening, I think it's a tower for Herald. What are your thoughts on what Annihilators are doing? They do not want to get Herald; they just want to get the bot.
Yeah, I mean, like, at the end of the day, they're not going to get the Herald, so they should just rotate for the drag. But then they're going to leave the Herald and they're going to rotate as well. They're going to make sure that they don't get the dragon for free.
Yeah, the dragon is what they need to fight it for now. In fact, they left the Herald, which I feel is very sus. But we'll have to wait and see what happens right. But now with the Darius prowess in the team fight, they do not want to contest the dragon. In fact, they are going for the Herald, but at this point they might be caught off. You can see the choo-choo train from TDT coming right, and Ezreal hits this one person. The hook lands, another pentacles up for grabs. Can we see get it? I think he got the reset. I'm not sure. No, he did not. But at this point, he's still going in. But he has 5 stacks still, and I think this point, Annihilators have gotten their work cut out for them. It is a complete domination on the side of TDT right here as they look to get another 3-0. And I'm not sure if they got the Herald or not. We'll have to wait for confirmation. They did not get the Herald, but they got 3 kills for themselves, which is more than enough than what we could ask for. And it, we talked about the underdog story. It feels like Annihilators are now the underdogs, right?
Yeah, if you look at the map, and also I'm really surprised to see Old School being a bit greedy for the farm. Like if he had just gone for the Herald directly instead of trying to clear out the wave, he would have not been caught out. Like in Old School trying to take out some of the minion, like he was a little bit late. Plus he had his flash also, so I'm really surprised to see like that's really questionable. He had his flash and he knew that the opponents were coming, right? So he had his flash, but
no, his flash just came up now. It wasn't there when the
okay.
But unfortunately, I completely agree with you, right? Like the ADC being out of position is something we cannot or do not expect at all, and that happening definitely made things a bit difficult for them to win right now. Now with the 5,000 goal in 10 minutes, definitely TDT are in the advantage. And this Jace pickup, I have to say, is really smart as well, right? He completely butchered the Akali pick. Akali couldn't do anything. Now it's a 1v2 happening. Can he get the 5 stacks is the question you have to ask. He gets his 5 stacks, but a beautiful set ultimate does dissuade him. He can still use the ultimate, not going to be fast enough. The big shutdown ends up going over to the Xin Zhao, and Annihilators will be very happy with that shutdown. It's a 5-kill shutdown, at least 300, at least 600 gold at this point, and now it's going to be very interesting as well, because this does slow down the game a little bit. It doesn't mean that they're back in the game, but the fact that anything you can get, any shutdowns, Uma, helps to slow down the game, right? Because they need to slow down the game to catch up in gold and XP.
Yeah, and also I like this item build, and yeah, Freddy's gonna get caught up right there.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm not sure what happened right here, but Cat goes beyond, ends up using Morgana ultimate. Just really nicely played on the Morgana. It was a beautiful double bubble from the Nami right hand. Bacha could be in trouble, does not have his ultimate money. Here comes the backup, Doofy on that Ezreal as well. Frontlining doing a lot of damage as well. Here comes Jace as well, just beautifully played. Another beautiful double bubble. The Morgana binding off this strong position is hard to play against. Steel just going ham, wants to get the kill, gets the kill, and they kill them inside their own tower. It's a complete ace yet again. This TDT is looking extremely strong right now.
Yeah, and I was just gonna mention about how Doofy's itemization is well, right? He just straight up went for the Trinity first after completion of the monument, so that shows the confidence he has on this champion, right? And also, it takes me back to the time when there was this match going on when both of us were casting, and there was an Israel who was just popping off. Like they couldn't reach the Ezreal, right? So we might see a different, we might see the same scenario out here as well. But then if you look at the itemization done by both the teams, on the blue side of the map, they're already, like, look at Darius build, like he's already 3 items up, and whereas if you look at Ed set, he has only 2 items. And also, like, half of the items are completed on the side of Team Annihilators, so things are looking pretty bad for it. But then, we just can't count them out right now, right? Because this is wireless and anything can happen.
Yeah, and everybody, right? Everybody Kuma on the side of TDT are playing extremely well, right? Like, you can't fault anybody on the team for not showing up to the standards, from their jungler, from their mid, from the support. All of them are just completely playing superbly well. But on the other side, if we have to critique, we do feel the Kaisa 04 has not been able to come online at all. The Akali as well, just not been able to do much. I feel Nami has done what she could, and as did Bacha. But again, with the third dragon spawning, it is the Infernal, mind you, but it looks like it's going to be very hard for Annihilators to do something about it. The only thing they can probably do is a miraculous steal, because they just lack the DPS right now. There is a GA on our boy Darius. He is very happy to frontline get his 5 stacks. They cannot contest this, and they will decide not to. It's a smart move, honestly, because that would have just been the end of the fight and possibly the Baron. What they are, however, doing is hovering on the Baron a bit too late. This rotation would have happened if they'd done it exactly at the time when it started. Maybe things would have been different. They are trying to do some level of bush camps. It's not going to be enough, but you can see another dash comes in, and Fallon could be in trouble. Ends up using his shroud to survive, and Doofy could be in trouble as well, but the damage output is just not there on the Akali, as the Akali does die. On the other side, you see the Morgana ultimate used to perfection, as they will look to get another double kill onto the Darius as well. There is just absolutely no response to this draft. I have to comment, the draft is honestly working out really well, and it genuinely helps me. Everyone is also so fed, but kudos to the side of TDT for making Annihilators look like a team that definitely needs to practice a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. And also, if you look at how the mid lane Jace pick up, like I was kind of questionable about the pick, like he's popping off, like he's doing what needs to be done. And also Akali, like you've said earlier, Akali like as an assassination, not being able to kill off the ADC, right? Trying to zone him up and not being able to kill shows how way behind they are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thoroughly impressed by the blue team and how easy they've dominated this game. Expectations are different, but it looks like now, Annihilators are the underdogs. So let's talk about that. Annihilators make a comeback in game 2 because I know it's a little too early to talk about game 2, Kuma, but looking at these drafts, you do feel like something needs to change on the side of Annihilators, right? This draft that they've picked or the champions that they've played or whatever they've given away has not worked out for them in the slightest.
Yep. And also, like, honestly, for me, like, I guess we'll be going to game 2 very quickly because looking at the pace at how TGT are playing, right? Looking at the pace of how they're controlling the map, and Bacha is going to get caught off. Yes.
Has to flash out right there, but again, the Darius is in trouble. That's a flash E. But again, the point of that flash E, I'm not sure if it helped or not, but never mind. He actually does get the G on the Darius, which is very good. And Akali gets a kill on the Morgana as well. They are actually able to get the kill on Darius as well, and suddenly out of nowhere, Nocturnal with the crazy engage ends up getting themselves 2 kills for naught and completely dissuades Baron from doing anything else, right? They just buy themselves more time in this game. I do feel it's a bit too late, let's be honest, but there are glimpses of Annihilators doing what they wanted to do with this draft. If they were not so far behind, maybe things could have been different.
Yeah, and I honestly feel like for Lord Hertas, we were just talking about how an assassination is not being able to assassinate anyone, right? But as soon as you said that, he comes up with the assassination on Get Goes Meow, and it was really exciting to see. But the Baron buff being wasted, like I wouldn't say wasted there.
They got made an inhibitor out of it, but still, that's all they could get. So go on though, huh?
Yeah, like they haven't lost that much, right? If you look at the red side, if you look at Annihilation, they haven't lost that much.
True, there's still a 10,000 gold deficit. However, that is going to be very hard for them to come back on. And even though the Kaisa is 0 and 5, she is slowly building up to her items as well. Bacha also, he's gone for the very full damage Zinzao build, not relying on anybody else for damage. So in terms of damage, right, 4 of their champions have 3 items or 2.5 items per piece. But on the other side, right, like you said, TDT is more than 3 items a piece, right? Again, though, I do feel the GA being down on Darius will make him vulnerable as well. If, Set can get another great engage on and do a lot of damage, it could make the difference right here. But it's like, if you want to believe, guys, you can believe, but it's looking a little bit harder on the side of on the side of Annihilators to make a comeback. But with 20 seconds to go and Elder Infernal spawning, I'm not sure what Morgana and Darius are doing standing in base, but it's too late for them to demand any sort of a remake at this point. So I'm not sure what exactly happened, but whatever it is looking very bad for them, because having them in base doing nothing is gonna make sure that
this is actually really this is actually really heartbreaking to see. I guess this is some connectivity issue coming out from Fuckboy and Cat Goes Meow, right? And also,
this has to be a connectivity issue. Yeah.
And also, so like, it feels really sad to know that they're having connectivity issue after having such a beautiful first game, right?
And now at this point, I do not know if Annihilators have noticed that the teams are disconnected, right? Even if they get the Elder Dragon, right, it's not the end of the world for TDT right here, because they still have the 3 dragons apiece, they have the inhibitors as well. But what needs to happen is for them to reconnect ASAP right here. The fact that they both disconnected in the same time, I'm not sure if they're brothers or not, but it's slowly buying Annihilators some time, and Annihilators themselves realizing, what, it does make sense. So there you have it. Morgana starts moving, guys. Darius starts moving. Okay. I think things should be good to go. Almost a heart attack I think they would have gotten, saying that 2 of their carries got disconnected. But with 18 minutes to go, I think now is the time for them to go after the Elder Cloud, which if they get is auto win, right? But then they have started Baron as well. So I think it's going to be another handshake trade Baron for Elder Cloud, 4 Dragon Elder Cloud. I don't think it's a great pickup, but I think at this point they'll get what they can take, right? So
at the end of the day, like, they should, not getting the drag, like, that's gonna cost them a lot, because it's just gonna spawn once, right, Elder Dragon in the entire game, and the buff that they're gonna be getting, plus they already have 3 dragons under their belt. So I don't know why they opted to go for the Baron instead, but at the end of the day, like, beggars cut the choosers, right?
Exactly,
just let,
beggars can't be
yeah,
choosers is exactly the best way to sum it up. They really are not in any position to
yep,
fight for the end or decide, you know what, guys, let's take our chances with Baron. Let's do a 1-3-1 push. Zin on the top side, Set on the bot side, Akali in the mid. And if they can hold off this Baron, or at least not do anything crazy and get caught out, then very easily you can see TDT making a comeback in this game as well. And now we are seeing the push happening. Steel ends up going with the 1-1 position here as well. And look at this, beautifully played. Oof, that damage from the Jace is like very hard to break.
yeah, and that's the confidence I like to. I mean, I like seeing from this kind of players. Like he knew he has the damage and he just went it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thoroughly impressed again by how well the blue team is playing, and I think I was just not expecting them to play so well because they are in the losers bracket. So you'd assume that there'd be some difficulty. Oh, beautiful combination on the side of the Darius. Beautiful flash portal combination. Another great damage output coming on the side of Set as well. He gets the Morgana, but not before he dies in the process as well. If they did not have a 4 Elder Dragon, things could have been a bit different. But now 4 of their players have lost, 3 of the players have died, just 2 people remain. This could be a push on the mid lane towards the end. Cold, FK Boys, Steel, and Doofy are there to completely get the Nexus and take this game into a 1-0 series in favor of TDT. Right here, Annihilators got annihilated.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I'm like one of us are talking about how it's one-sided, but then yeah, the underdog story is proving to be massive out here. Like
I mean, let's not call them underdogs anymore. I take
Yep.
my words back. Kumar. Now I'm going to call Annihilators the underdogs right here because look at how well they played and look at everybody, right? Like such high kill participation coming across the board. The minimum kill participation was 17 out of 23, right? So basically, they played as a team and they won as a team, right? And look at the damage
Yep, exactly.
outputs.
And also,
Kumar. Walk me through it.
yeah, the damage output, like if you look at Fuckboy, Get Goes Meow, Doofy, and Stilo, like it's properly distributed. Like generally, when we look at the damage chart, we get to know like who carried who or like who dished out the most damage. But if you look at the damage chart out here, like this is the kind of team that I want to play with. Like I'll just be a support and let them do whatever they want to
I mean,
do, right?
Cold as a support was
Mhm.
undefeated or unkilled throughout the entire
Yep.
game, and a very strong lead coming out, guys, on the side of Team Dual Top in the game 1 of this specialty series. Now, can Annihilators come back is a question that I think Kuma, you and I will both have to find out in just a few minutes. Do not go anywhere. Game 2 of this specialty series will begin in just a few minutes. Hello guys and welcome back to the Wild Rift India Resurgence series. We are in lower bracket round 3 between Team Dual Top and Annihilators. Annihilators lost game 1 pretty badly. A great all-round
Yep.
effort from TDT right here, Goma. But game 2 is about to start, and I reckon there will be some changes in draft because that's that Darius look like a beast. That's the mid lane Jace, the Morgana jungle. There's a lot of things that just worked out for Team Yulta last game.
Yeah. I mean, and on top of that, they can't target ban now because we have seen what Cat Meow
Yeah.
can do, right? And also, like, they forced Bacha to a spot, and who knows, right now, they might even force Cat Meow to a spot, Because right now, they ban on most of everything, yeah. And I'm pretty sure, like, the bans will still remain the same coming out from both the teams, right? But then there might be some different changes, and I'm pretty sure, like, Annihilator, they might go for a control mesh instead of going for an assassin. Because last match, we were not able to see much of Akali. Like,
Absolutely.
she's an assassin, right? So she should just dive in, take out the carry, or, dish out some damage. But she wasn't able to do that, right? And also,
Mhm.
on the ADC, who is the old school, right?
Might
He
see a
was sort
Varus,
of,
I feel.
yeah.
Yeah, the Kaisa pick did not work out for them at all. I completely agree with you. And even the picks just seem a little bit outdated, if I'm honest. I'll tell you what, right? For my prediction this game, blue side picks Oriana mid lane for sure. Bottom lane gets Ezreal or Varus because
Mhm.
that's just strong in meta right now. And Bacha will get one of his Nunus and J4s. And when you get 3C champs, I feel that's when Annihilators become a very strong team, right? So I love how the last game drafted. I think TDT completely smurfed in the draft phase for game 1. For game 2, however, because they are on the red side of this game, first pick is on the side of Annihilator. So that just might make all the difference. As we head into the draft screen, the Morgana ban coming out, they do not want to give Cat Goes Meow Morgana.
Yeah, and also with the van ban coming out, so this is actually a different kind of ban coming out. Like this is the casters curse. I said we might see some, but then because of the bans coming out from both the teams, like this gives the opportunity to both the teams to use their main champion where they're comfortable with, right? So we might see like some total gangbang out here, or we might see some really good individual play coming out from both the teams. And also the Braum
Absolutely.
being
I mean,
taken out. Yeah.
yeah, I like these bans. The reason I like them is like if you lost to certain champions in the first game, just ban them out. I think that's a smart way to draft. And if they ban Jace as well, I think that's honestly excellent.
Yep.
Because I feel like the Jace was one of the reasons why the mid lane was so lethal. And you can see already, right? Gucci is like, ban Jace, please, Sensei. And the Jace gets banned. Now the Yasuo gets left open. Yeah. Ban Jace, and the word is to ban Jace. On the other side, TDT
Yeah.
have banned the J4, so they don't want to give Bacha his jungle picks. And the Yasuo, but
Yeah.
obviously.
So do you
against
think Bacha is going to go for the Rengar, or do you think he's going to leave it for Cat?
I think I mean that's a good question. I feel like he's not going to play Rengar. He has not played Rengar in a long time. I feel like he is going to go for a comfort pick for himself, which could potentially be the Nunu right here. But then again, you are also looking to give the Darius to the. I know, never mind. He goes for the Lee Sin because yes, that is his playmaking pickup, and that's a very very good pickup in the early game. But on the other side, Kuma they get the Darius as well as the Rengar.
Yeah. And I would be really happy to see a Lulu pick coming out because Lulu being picked out,
Yes.
if you can, Yep. And also Lulu has been picked up, so I'm really happy to say. And I Nocturnal on that Lucian. Do you think he's going to pick it up for a old school, or do you think he's going to use it on the mid lane?
No, this is most likely going to be a Lucian in the mid lane, but the marksman lane. But then again,
Yeah.
this is the it, right? When you end up giving Galio away, things just get a bit difficult. And now Annihilators draft is looking quite interesting because Galio in the mid lane will mean that any engage that the Rengar brings onto the table or does the Galio or the Darius will be very potentially nullified right here. Then they still need to look to ban out the Ziggs, I would say, because that will be very hard for them to play against. But on the other side, Cold is looking for another engage option, which again I feel is so good, right? If they pick Rakan right here, it's a great option. But then when they end up going for the SDL, which is a very strong pick in the meta, and now it's going to be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a TF ban coming out from Team Annihilator, right? Because if TF is banned out, then Galio, like TF is that kind of a hero in mid lane where he can support like both of them has global presence, right? TF and the Galio, right? So I'm pretty sure like they are looking forward to banning this TF. But if they don't ban out the TF, then I'm gonna be really really surprised. Because tell me, like if Galio and TF channel the ulti together, right? Who reaches first?
I feel like the TF should have advantage in laning phase because he can play from a distance. I like that the set has been banned because even though Darius did really well, the fact that Nocturnal plays set and the fact that he is such a good frontline makes things very very strong for them. But the fact that Nocturnal can still play Akali top is a good response to the Darius. It played well. And this is a pickup that you could also potentially see mid being taken as well. And Nami ban as well coming out, very interesting as well. I'm not sure what's happening right here. Let's just be honest, Kumar. I'm just waiting to see what picks happen at Doofy right here. He could just end up picking Kali in the mid lane, which, ooh, never mind, end up going for the support. It's going to be the Alistair. A lot of meat and frontline being packed. They need some tank shedding champions right here on the side of Annihilators.
Yeah, but then they don't have that, and then they're gonna go right in for Akali, like you predicted against the Darius. And also, we know that Forlong is comfortable around Akali, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like that's probably I Nocturnal playing Akali top and Galio going mid, and then Varus for RTG because Lucian is banned, or Corki as well, a great pickup honestly. But we'll have to wait and see what ends up getting picked. That's a good pickup. But I feel like the Corki Lulu lane is not exactly what you look for. Lulu helps buff your marksman. A Lulu Tristana would have been good here. Maybe even a Lulu Jinx at some level, but again, against a Rengar probably doesn't make sense. A Tristana here would have been a great scaling pick as well. And on the other side of the main lane is going to be the Annie pickup, which I don't think is the best pickup against a Galio, but never mind, we'll still have engage options. But you have both the drafts ready on your side, and this time Nocturnal's response to Darius is going to be the Akali.
yeah, and like even you're not the only one. Like when I saw the Annie be picked up, I was kind of like, okay, they're doing something weird here. But then even in the previous game, we saw Jace be picked up, and he was able to do so much of damage. So I'm expecting a lot from this still Annie, right? And then if he has this protocol and his flash ready, then she is really good for engage, and they can easily follow up with the Alistair. Like so, they have a really good wombo combo coming out, and Ghost Mio can just come in and annihilate everyone, right? So I'm really excited to see that. But then talking about the Corki pick as well, like they have so many good ATC option right now. But then they ended up going for the Corki. But then Corki also,
I think it gives them power in the dragon fights, right? That's where the only advantage I see it happening. But they're very magic heavy damage, aren't they? Like the only physical damage is on the side of the Lee Sin, which I would not say is lacking physical damage, but even your top lanes, like for Darius, he just has to build complete MR items, and he's Gucci, right? Like he goes Force of Nature here, he goes Spirit Research, and then he's unkillable. Same with Alistair as well. Force of Nature, hard to kill him at this point. So we'll have to wait and watch what happens. But let us know who in the comments who do you think has won draft as we head into game 2 of this low bracket series between TDT and Annihilators. Game 1 was won very convincingly by TDT right here, and game 2 is about to start very quickly. And I'm excited because Bacha is on his decent Kuma, and that for me has always been a fun thing. He's a very good playmaker on that champion. He has the skills to play it really well, and he should be happy playing that sort of a champion in the game.
Yeah, and also I've seen on your stream like when sometimes you duo with Bacha, right? Or yeah. So I've seen how he plays, and then his micro is like really top notch, and then like to use Lee Sin at the top of the level. That's like honestly for me speaking, like in our community, like one of the best Lee Sin users is Bacha, right? Los is there, and everyone is there. But
I would put Lost, I would put Bacha, and I would put Crowley as the best Lee Sin players. But you know what? These three would be definitely in my top 3 by far. I would not know in which order, but definitely in terms of mechanics, I would say all of these 3 players are insane at least and I've seen amazing things come out from them, right? So I'm looking for the same from Bacha in this game as well, and I like the mid lane matchup as well. You can already see that the Galio is putting a lot of pressure through his Winds of War, and the damage output, Akali just like Annie just trying to last hit, but Fallen seems to be in a much better place this game.
Yeah, I mean at the end of the day, Galio is just gonna straight up win the lane, like even if he doesn't do much, right? Because he can just zone the Annie away, and Annie might miss 1 or 2 CS, but I don't think it's gonna cost him that much. So like for Rao, like he should just try not to die and make sure he does, and make sure she's there for the rotations, because Galio will be globally present everywhere, right?
I'm not sure what's happened to RTG right here. I think they're looking for a remake. I'm not sure because both the bot laners are just standing right here, and it feels like RTG has disconnected. They can still request for remake. Meanwhile, the flash is being used by the Akali. This is a remake, guys.
This is gonna be a remake.
Yeah, it felt like somebody disconnected, right? So we just are gonna have a remake on our hands, and nothing happened in the first 1.5 minutes. So remakes are allowed until first blood happens, in which case it did not happen. So yes.
Yeah, I mean, this gives a lot of time for us to
Volk is
it
like,
out. Like,
Volk is like, what are you giving Smiley's Volk? Ask me the questions you want to tell me. Like he's just smiling in chat right now. But anyways, Kuma, you were saying so.
yeah. I mean, like, honestly speaking, we have enough time to like I mean, like, do all the masala chaska and like take it out. Like, what might happen in this matchup, right? Because we have a Darius and Akali top lane plus. We have a Bacha on Lee Sin and Kate Goes Meow on Rengar, and both of them are so comfortable with this champion, right?
It does,
Yeah.
right?
So
So I feel
yeah.
like the comfort level is going to make a big difference right here. For me
Mhm.
specifically, I feel Nocturnal is going to have a lot of advantage in the battle lane as well. I've played against his Akali as well, and Akali in the Darius matchup does have an advantage. In the mid lane as well, I think Forlorn just seemed a lot more comfortable in the Galio as well. So, guys, we should look to have a very quick game happening on our hands. Wait, I might have to get into the lobby to invite you, Kuma. So hopefully, guys, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Might just be minor ping issues. As you guys know, Indian lobby has not been the most friendliest to us nowadays because of how high pings people are getting. One of the solutions that I've heard on a Discord that might work is if you are in game, enable dual channel communication in settings if it is off, and if it is already on, then switch it off and switch it on. What happens if you enable that dual channel communication is for some reason your ping just becomes better. So if it works for 70-80% of the people, I think that's a good solution you should try. So make sure you look out for that as well. As we almost are in the lobby as well. Hopefully we get to join very, very soon. I'll just invite all the people, Baba, and pause. Make sure you guys join in, and I think we should look to get started in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
And
And
people,
also,
giving other people Lee Sin's names, guys. See, unless you played Wild Rift India tournaments and have performed with Lee Sin in the highest level, it does not matter what your rank is on Lee Sin, how many people have played. Like, there are hundreds, there are 20, 30, 40 Lee Sin players in India who have like 800 plus Lee Sin games. Doesn't mean you're a good Lee Sin player, right? To be a good Lee
yeah,
Sin player, you need to
exactly.
perform in the highest level in the competitive ladder. So don't give
Plus,
me
at the
random
end of
Lee
the
Sin
day,
games.
yeah.
Yeah,
And plus, at the end of the day, you should be consistent as well, right?
yeah, you should just be like,
Like,
you should be a smart player. Just having mechanics on Lee Sin
mhm.
doesn't mean that you're good. Because decent takes a lot of brain. The jungle takes brains, honestly. That's about it. But
Yeah.
anyways, I think the lobby has been made. I think we should look to get started without any issues. It is going to be blind pick, and the best thing, Kuma, that Wild Rift has done is now we can for FF games very fast, so that we can start very fast. So it ends up
Mhm.
saving like 4 or 5 or 6 minutes of the time, and that's just honestly really, really good for us.
Yeah, I mean, even last time I was here, I was doing casting with you, and that's when I noticed like so many changes has been made. Like when I made a comeback, and you were like, "Hey, do you want to cast alongside me?" And I was like, "Okay, sure." Like so, I just want to say thank you to you as well, like for bringing me up every time, like whenever I come back. And
Absolute
also,
Kuma, you will always be a part of the Wild Rift community and a part of my heart as well. So don't worry.
yeah,
When the
exactly.
server does launch, you're gonna do a lot of cool things. And yeah,
Yeah,
that's the dream, man. We're just hoping the fucking server launches. That's the only thing that
yeah.
we are
And also, what
really
I'm gonna say
working
right
for.
now is gonna make all the chat happy. I'm gonna explode because I promised Bishi that I'm gonna be finding a waifu for him, so I'm gonna be doing that
Oh,
soon as well. So
finding a
yeah.
waifu. Next thing you know, I get a mail from my house. It's a nice pillow with an anime waifu, courtesy Kuma right there, right? So,
No, no, no,
yeah.
not a body pillow. It might be something different.
Well, fine, well, fine. I'll look forward to
But
seeing
yeah,
how
the
you can
champions
find
are
me a
locked
waifu.
in, and we will, we will.
Yeah, we get there as long as these enemies are also done locking in right there. So hopefully we don't have any issues with game 2 in the second version of this game, and we should just get started. But that Akali skin looks dope. I think KD Akali is one of the better Akali skins out there. KDA All Out Akali rather looks darn good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Akali looks good, but at the end of the day, like Ari, right? She tops everything. Like, if you look at all the skins.
Ari Simp, my boy Kuma right here, loves the Ari, and yeah, I mean I don't disagree. I
No,
love Ari.
see, like,
I like Ari. I mean, if
yeah.
you have to ask me who's my favorite KDA member, I would say KDA Kaisa and then Ari. But I only like KDA Kaisa. I don't know why I really like KDA Kaisa. I feel like she just looks really good. But other than that, Ari, I think is the pop star, really the most
Yep.
famous KDA member for sure. So totally buying that. As we head into game, guys, God King Darius, FK boy. Have no idea who he is, but should be very happy getting a pentakill in the tournament. At this point, I'm the only Darius player left who has not gotten a pentakill. Feels bad. My team just steals every pentakill that I try to get, so fuck them. But anyways, I think we're in for a game, and with the way that people are moving, I believe we have a game on hand. So let's go.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a stop right there by Ezreal. So that gave me a heart attack right there. Like Ezreal just walked in and he just stopped, right? I was like,
Mhm.
oh no, are we going for another remake? But yeah, that's not gonna happen. So
It
yeah,
is. It is.
nothing has changed.
Yeah, but I
So
would like
nothing has
Baba
changed.
to. Yeah, I would like Baba to like just keep an eye in the Akali and Darius lane, because I feel that's going to be the most interesting one to start off with. So let's make sure we see
Yeah.
that out. And yeah, like you said, nothing's going to happen in this early game so far.
And also, but I mean, oh wait, Baba, you should know that whenever Darius has been picked, like she's gonna tell you to hover onto the top side. So don't make him say it. Just show Darius gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a top lane. Oh my lord, they are standing yet again. Why? Why did it take like so much time to remake? Just remake at the start of the game. Uh, Kuma, do you have Singapore VPN by any chance? It might just be, or just let's just wait. Like let's just cast from here itself, because I feel like any one person having not having the server or something might be making the difference. But they should not play on Indian server right now because of how bad the ping is. They should definitely look to just play on the Singapore server, because that's the one where there is a very less issue with pings. And unfortunately, guys, this keeps happening right now. This was never an issue a week back when Indian lobby was clean and smooth and simple, when you could just get amazing ping to play on and nobody had any issues.
Yep,
But
exactly.
now it's gotten a bit wonky, and even tomorrow I think it's going
hmm
to be wonky as well. So hopefully we'll look to sort that out for you guys, as I'm trying to get into lobby and figure out what the problem here is. But my Wild Rift apparently does not have my friend list open. There you go. Uh, is Baba in the lobby as well? Okay. Let me just confirm with them what issue is happening.
Yeah, sure. I guess most probably with the ping issue, like we said earlier, and that I mean, honestly speaking, I'm really happy with the community as well. Like despite not having the game and despite having all of this issue, they are still staying strong with this game, right?
I can't type.
That's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
you
some
can't
reason,
type.
I
Oh,
can't
you
type
can't
in the
type as
lobby.
well.
No, I can type in the lobby, but there you go. I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out what's happening.
Okay, there's a lot of delay though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, their jungler.
All right. Be back in a couple of minutes, guys. Again, essentially there was some issue with whoever is hosting, so we are going ahead with iNocturnal hosting, because that was the last time they hosted it. Low worked out really well. So now, hopefully, we should look to get a game on our hands very soon, Kuma. And I've told them that we can't remake 100 times. So whatever this is the last
hmm
time they have to play. There's no more remakes post this, so they just need to play it and work it out.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, what can we do about the ping
I mean,
issues,
you
right?
can't do much
Like,
about the
there's
ping.
not. Yeah. hmm
Alright, so I believe we are in the game as well. And Puma, the third time's a charm, hopefully. You know, we always keep saying that even in the last game, in the third time people won't charm. So fingers crossed. But regardless, if they have bad ping, just play, guys. Because, you know, we.
Even me, I was having my dinner. Yeah, I was having my dinner and I was just watching the match, right?
Mhm.
Like, I had my phone on and I was watching the match and I was like, there was a first remake, there was a second remake, and by the time the third remake happened, like, I got done with my dinner as well.
I mean, it is what it is at this point. But the players have loaded onto the game as well, and there is no remix post this. So whatever happens, people will play. They have to adjust. I understand it's not the ideal situation, but guys, we do not have a fucking server. We can't keep having infinite remakes because otherwise we'd be stuck forever. I'm hoping that things are fine and whatever it is, people end up playing. You see a lot of friendship bands on the side, Nocturnal and Gucci Gucci and Forlorn. So they are definitely a bunch of friends looking to play together. But this time I'm looking forward to Bacha. On his Lee Sin, I think he will be the difference maker, or he needs to be the difference maker if Annihilators are want to come back in the series. What do you
But I'm actually excited to see like Cat goes Mio because I haven't seen him play in a competitive match before, right? To see him on his Rengar, so I'm really excited for that. Like, it takes me back to season 4 of League of Legends where Samsung White had a jungler named Dandy, right?
Oh, Dandy,
That's
my
cool.
boy.
Yeah.
Oh, nostalgia right there. Very
Yeah,
nice.
exactly. Like, so to see Rengar back in action, right? Because we haven't seen Rengar in LoL PC for quite some time right now, right? But then
Yeah,
to see the Rengar in Wild Rift, it takes us back to the old times. So I'm
absolutely.
really excited to see. Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it as well. The only thing is, who is he really gonna kill at this point? We have to wait and watch as we look to head into the game at this point. We've told them no more remakes, guys. So this is it. Whatever ping people are on, they have to adjust and play. And yeah, there we have it. The game has started on our hands right here. So this is it. Hopefully, everyone is playing. Fingers crossed in playable ping. So we should look to get started. As you can see, a ward being pushed in the mid brush by the guy.
Yeah.
A
And
lot of
also,
wards being
like,
put. Now, so many wards being put in the early game.
yeah, I mean, like, also in the beginning we have seen like the first round, the second round. I mean, of this same match, like for the Runic, what placement hasn't changed that much. So like they know what they're doing. So like just dive into the game, and also like for Team Annihilator, right? I mean Team TGT. Like if they take out the Lulu, then I'm pretty sure like
TDT.
yeah TDT, yeah TDT. Sorry, yeah.
I know
TDT
you love my team, Kuma. But
no, because like when there's like a word start with T and ends with T, like the first thing that comes to my mouth is TGT, right? So that's my stuff.
I could send
Chant
that.
now. Yeah, it's like a chant now. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what?
Mhm.
So what they should do is like if they take out the Lulu right early into the team fights, then I honestly feel like it's gonna open up a lot of threats for Cat Goes Mio just to go in on any one of them. But then looking at the team composition built up by Annihilation as well, right? I don't think they're gonna give him that much chance. So that's why I'm really excited to see like get Rengar in this type of composition. Like it generally doesn't work, right? Because they have the
It
Galio.
doesn't. You're right. But then because you also have the Lulu to protect herself. But in situations where if the Rengar does get ahead, then the Rengar can pretty much kill anybody. And you can see a fight is happening at the scuttle. The Galio is there. The stun ends up getting used onto the Lee Sin, and every jungle is fighting differently. And I like the fact that Bacha, instead of focusing on the Annie, ends up going after the Rengar, right? And he will get first blood. In fact, it's Forlorn who gets first blood. Rengar, yes, he does get the red scuttle, the scuttle for himself,
Yeah.
but ends up giving away first blood to the mid laner.
Yeah, and then also there was a well-deserved first blood coming out for Follow, right? Like he had to burn his flash and his ignite, right? So Bacha giving it away, yeah, that was really good. So this is gonna ensure that Bacha grabs the Scuttle in the both side of the map. But then this doesn't get Mio's 2 behind as well. First
Yeah,
he
I mean,
got the
the fact that he got the scuttle is still good in terms of EXP advantage, so he will not fall too behind in the EXP thing. But it does mean that Bacha can look to potentially get to a faster level 5. And the fact that Galio gets ahead is very good because he will finish his Rod of Ages before the Dragon fight. This means pretty much and even get a boot for himself. And Cat Goes Meow has to potentially go into farming mode at this point, right? So he has to make sure that he's farming to his level 5 and potentially to get a gank. In the top side, you are seeing Nocturnal having a very good HP advantage over FK Boy right here, but in terms of gold, they are both doing absolutely fine. So not the worst of issues, but Akali does have priority. In fact, I think Bacha should definitely look to focus on the top side and shut down this Darius, because if they are able to shut down the Darius, then it's going to make his life a little bit harder as well. In the mid lane as well, I think Annie's playing a little bit safe, so should not be an issue. And the first dragon is going to be the Ocean Dragon, so I guess you're right, Kuma. You could potentially see the first, Heretic happening. And again, with the bot side, again, a lot of damage as well. Cold on point on his Alistar engages, almost ends up killing the Corki right here, who does survive with a sliver of HP.
Yes, both the both sides are gonna reset and they're gonna come in for the drag. So which is a nice thing to see. And also talk to me about this Akali and Darius matchup. This is one I wanted to know because you've been using Darius for a long time, right? So how do you land against an Akali? Because Akali just smashes at Darius. Like
I mean,
whenever I'm using an area Darius, that generally happens. So like walk us through. Like even the viewers, I'm pretty sure they would want to know.
the simple way to deal with it is let Akali push the wave into you and just farm. And once you're trying to farm, try to hook her and get her shorter trades. The fact is that you can never really kill her, but at this point Rengar is coming with the mid lane as well. It's a nice dash in advance by the Galio. But on the other side, you can see a nice, polymorph as well, a beautiful Annie stun. In fact, Annie ult was used just to make sure the Rengar did not die right here. So an ult does get wasted on the side of TDT, that Annihilators, have the momentum going for themselves in game 2. And like we said, we might just have an interesting series on our hands. And Darius is not clearing that wave before backing does make me feel as if he wants the wave to push back to him, but because he's not going to catch the wave that will push back to him, it's going to just make the wave useless. So little confused behind that decision making on his side, but never mind. Then the dragon fight is happening. There is no Annie ult, but everybody else has ults, and you can see Nocturnal just jumps into the face of Annie. It's a bad positioning on that side. Ends up even wasting the Corki package, mind you. Here comes Alistar. It's a nice knockout. Never mind, the Pulverize does not land the right target, and again they could be in trouble. It's a 3-man Ezreal ult. Doofy with a very crisp Ezreal ult completely shatters any hopes and dreams that Annihilators have of getting that dragon right there. Now they want to do something with the damage out from the Galio is that the backs are still being taken. I think they will just look to give this up and get the first herald for themselves, but not before the dragon resets and they wasted some time, and Bacha still there, so they still want to steal. They want to try. The can he steal is the question that he's going for it. The Galio also gets used. So they're coming out. The taunt lands onto 2 people as well. They get the Alistar in return, but not before they lose the dragon and lose the Lee Sin as well. But here comes the Darius as well. Gets a double hook as well. He's trying to get his 5 stacks. It's not going to be enough. The kiting is insane and in real at this point. Double kill on the Akali. Nocturne looking to be good, but old school at this point. Looking to run away, and here comes Darius and one more auto attack. There you have it. Gets the kill on the other side as well. Steel will make quick work of old school on that Corki as well. This team fight has just went from bad to worse with TDT coming out with the dragon and the team fight with Great.
Yeah, I mean, like, it all started off with Nocturnal just walking into that bush. Like, it wasn't warded as well, right? So, that is where things went south for Team Annihilator. And also on the team fight, like, did you notice how Darius pulled both Lulu and, like, they were forced to flash out? Like, that was so beautiful to watch of what they did. And also, honestly, like, Galio shouldn't have just committed in for the team fight. Because, like, just let the jungler go in, and if he gets it, he gets it. Right? If he doesn't make it out alive, like, why end up taking the life for it? So because of that, it costs them a lot.
Is just not there in this point, but another fight's about to happen in the air, and here comes Rengar as well. He comes from the back, ends up getting a lot of damage output on the Lee Sin as well, and that does mean that they will get the Herald as well. And look at this, the 5-man wombo combo of TDT right there, and Nocturne trying to do what he can. It's not going to be enough. The kill on the Annie as well. Double kill from Steel right here, and again Annihilators just not able to win out these team fights in spite of Bacha playing that jungle pick on the Lee Sin. Nocturnal finds himself between a cow and a cat, and he rushes between the cat trying to kill the cat, but the cow is there just to make sure got milk. Maybe he says that as well. The Rengar gets the kill onto the Akali, and that is just going to be very, very good on the side of TDT because they are able to get the Herald and they are able to get the team Herald.
Yeah, and also in the previous match, like, outplayed an insanely good Rom, and even this match, like, if you look at the Alistar, right? The way he's rolling off different kinds of people, and also the way he's just playing, the team are playing around Cole, that's really, really good to watch. And also, I like the confidence coming out from Ken Cole. He just goes in for the Herald, he gets punished, but he doesn't end up giving up his life, and also Cole is there to set him up, and there's another person.
Yeah, but this time I think they do really well. Like, they just push the Alistar into the team as well, and they should look to get a kill back. The Corki, surprisingly, thankfully enough, gets a kill, but here comes Annie. Steel is on his way to get the ult as well. Bacha has to run away. Floater bed ultimate gets used. Beautiful play. Did not respect the Annie gap close, did he, at that point? And ended up getting a 1-for-1. This is just so bad, right? Just when you thought they got some victory from getting a kill on the support, they end up just losing jungle yet again. Bacha not having a great game so far. So, 0-3-3 on that jungle not looking good. And on the top side as well, right? The Akali is 5,000 gold, still behind the Darius, but it's come to a point where the Darius has enough HPs to not easily die to the Akali anymore. And now the matchup will slowly swing in favor of the Darius as long as the Akali, stays even on gold, because she will never have enough damage to kill the Darius straight away.
But then here's the problem for Annihilator as well, right? The Annie, he is leading by a lot. Like, look at the goal gathered around Annie. She has 5 kills, 3 assists, and with that, she has his portable and flash ready. So if she's just able to go portable, flash, and take out 2 or 3 of the members with his ultimate, then it's just going to be really, really bad for Team Annihilator.
Yeah, and it is, and now the Rengar gets used, but then again, Nocturnal is in a little bit of a difficult spot right now, has to look to back away. The Million Tower, however, will get sieged by the Ezreal at this point, and Galio, like you said, Kuma, very far behind in this game, not being able to provide a lot that he could, in spite of the fact that he was the first one to get first blood. He is finding himself to be quite behind the Annie, who find themselves to be very, very far ahead, and at this point, you have to wonder, right, like, how are Annihilators going to win team fights, because they need to assassinate somebody quick and pronto. They need to get either the Ezreal or the Annie, and once they do that, I think that's when they can start winning all these team fights. But it is going to be a bit difficult for them.
Yeah, and also they have a huge barrier to cross as well. Cole on this Alistar, he is playing so good into this. He's playing actually godlike, and also for them to reach Cole is the man obstacle for them, and I'm pretty sure they're going to invest a lot of spells, auto attacks on Cole. I'm pretty sure of that, because Cole is just going to be there for team fights. And look at Annie, she already has a touch.
Yeah, but they got the taunt onto the Rengar. Rengar should run away. It's another nice Lulu ult, right, being used there, but the Lee Sin could be in trouble. That's a nice Galio ult as well, just to disengage as well, but he's 1 HP, ends up dying, but the Annie finally dies. The shutdown is taken by the Kali as well. Nocturne honestly trying to do whatever he can, but he's caught between 3 different people, and try as he might, it's just not going to be enough at this point. Darius meanwhile on the other side trying to make sure to lose there. Bacha is like, oh, I'm trying to steal, but never mind, the Darius is there on the front end as well, not looking good for him. They want to kill the Darius, but they just do not. They're just so afraid of this point. The Corki pack is getting used. They can look to get this opportunity, but not before the damage output of the Ezreal is absurd, and the Darius ends up killing the Corki as well. Just a very terrible performance coming out from the Corki, I'm not going to lie. And again, this Dunk Master happens. Another kill going over to the Darius, gets a double kill for himself. Here comes the Galio as well. Can he look to get something for himself? No, he cannot. Another dragon gets lost. Another team fight gets lost. And we have to wonder, where did Annihilators go wrong in this game?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, AE old school, he did some questionable packages all along this game, right? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but his packages were totally off the grid. Even his first.
I mean, the first one was used because Akali got caught out. The second one was used just to make sure Darius could get it. Like you said, the second one was probably not used in the most optimal way right now. And this Herald also ends up going away from them. And now you can see finally old school, like, let me just get some damage back. And he gets the kill onto the Ezreal, which, is some bit of reprieve, but it's not going to be enough. These solo kills are just not going to be enough. At this point now, you can see Galio could be in trouble, but here comes backup on the side of Annihilators, and they should look to seize the top lane tower as well, but not before Alistar also there as backup as well. This is going to be a crazy fight happening, and again, I think it's a little bit too aggressive on the side of Annihilators. Yes, it is. They really want that tower, but in the process of trying to get the tower, they lose their lives and don't even get the tower to boot. What is this gameplay coming out? Gucci Wucci is the only one remaining right now on the Annihilator side, and smartly enough is the one to not die in that team fight a little bit too over aggression.
I mean, like, Annihilator, I think they thought, they saw Annie pushing the mid lane, so they were like, she wouldn't be able to get time for the rotation, so they had the numbers and everything, but in terms of damage output and in terms of outplay coming out from TDT, right?
Yeah.
They were not able to capitalize on them. I mean, they had a solid play. Like, yo.
I mean, they had a good start as well. They got the first start.
And if you get a...
No, absolutely. Sorry to cut you off right there, but I completely agree with you, right? And the first dragon fight where the Akali just ended up using all the HP as well. Not good, but here you can see Inoctul's trying to get the kill back, and yes, he ends up soloing the Darius. And you know why he ended up soloing the Darius? Because actually, Darius did not build. Darius just went for Deadman instead of his completed Force of Nature, which I felt was a difference maker. And the Rabadon's complete on the Akali does mean Annihilators may have a comeback.
Yeah. Yeah, but then if you look at Annie as well, look at the decision done. Like, she has finished Rabadon's, and now I think she's going for Rylas, right? Correct? That builds into a Rylas, right?
It does build into a Rylas, you're right. And at this point, again, Nocturnal could be in trouble. He's trying to do what he can. The Edge of Night, honestly, on the Rengar is quite annoying to deal with. And now Bacha's using his split push tactics because he knows that his own jungle is being eaten by the kitty cat, so he's trying to steal his laner's gold as well, trying to be a little bit of a split push menace. But he's so far behind, 7,300 to 12,000. It's a 5,000 gold deficit between the Lee Sin and the Rengar. Ever since he became good at studies, his gameplay worsened, I feel, because he cleared his CA exam, by the way, so it's a meme that is happening right now, right? So he chose to do studies with us esports, and I think in the end he made the right call, because if this is how you're gonna play jungle right here, then you might as well just do CA only. So
Oh, ouch! That's gonna hurt. Like Basha is gonna go back and he's gonna watch it, or somebody should just clip it and send it to him. That's gonna like ignite the fire.
I mean, it's just a pal at this point. But yeah, the third dragon is spawning.
Yeah.
20 seconds to go. The only saving grace I feel is a Corki package timed at the right time, and an Akali using the ultimate to either kill off the Ezreal or the Annie at this point.
Or the
Steel-
Annie.
Yeah, but the Steel man, like, he's just looking so darn strong at this point. I think it's gonna be a little difficult for him.
And also, if you look at itemization coming out from TDT, okay, so I thought Annie was gonna get caught off right there. Yeah, so Zonia's has been picked up by Doofy, and even they know that Annie has a protocol, so they should make sure to take the Annie out.
Yeah, now they're trying to let the dragon just so late at this point, and it's so funny that the Edge of Night made sure the Lee Sin couldn't actually use his Q back, and now the team fight's about to happen. This is where I think Annihilators seem to run, because this is not the right fight for them. 3 dragons apiece yet again. The early game prowess of TDT looking to make them very, very strong right now. Now the Baron cheese is about to happen. There is absolutely no wards on the side of Annihilators, and somebody has to face check with a Lee Sin Q or a Winds of War from the Galio as well. But smartly enough, Bacha takes a different pathing as well. He does spot them out, and again Galio could be in trouble, has to flash away. Doom does not land on the other side. Our Nocturnal completely gets annihilated as well, but will serve the skin of his teeth, and a little bit of weird pathing as well. Oh, the Corgi package is on point, and Darius like left, right, bone, dies at this point. At least they get one kill after themselves, but the damage output of the Annie plus the Rengar not going to be enough. Meanwhile, on the top side, like Bacha, like I am playing Playeros environment right here, tries to get the top lane tower, but not before Annie is there as well. I think he will still survive right here. I'm not sure what he's trying to do. He's just gonna end up dying, and I feel like this is where Tilt ends up taking over, right? Because
I mean,
yeah,
it was
like,
actually. I mean, he had the opportunity to run away, and also Baron is up, right?
he could have run away. He
losing,
could have easily run away.
Yeah, and then he could have repositioned himself for the second. Lee Sin ended up dying, and so this is going to be an easy. So coming out.
I mean, he don't HP to go. They need to go, and Old School has to go in as well. But look at the Annie ult on his face. The Lulot is there as well. They are able to get the Annie back. At least they lose the Baron, but they get something back, and the exhaust on the face as well. Oh my lord, Nocturnal, what a chat. Plays that really, really well. Actually could get 3 kills for himself. And if they are able to get 3 kills, this does mean that they can potentially dissuade Baron. They should continue to fight her. This is where they are strong. I feel this they should not be afraid. But when you have a cat and a God King Darius on your face, you have no option but to run. The fact that 2 members have died does buy some time. I don't know how much more they can do with this Baron, but Nocturnal is trying his absolute best, Kumar. We have to give this Akali credit for doing whatever she possibly can to keep her team alive.
And also, correct me if I'm wrong, but Nocturnal on the Akali got 2 shutdowns, right, on the game, so that has put her up front by like a lot, and also she's doing what Forlorn couldn't do in the previous match. So I'm really excited to say that. I mean, I actually didn't want to say that, but yeah, I
believe that Nocturnal's Akali is definitely working out well in a different lane as well, and she wasn't against the Jace as well, so it helped out. But again, like 0-5 Lee Sin, Edge of Night, and Ghostblade, we're looking for him to do steal. Oh, that's an Annie that just not hit their target. So well played right there to dodge it up. But the million tower is finally being taken, and again Rengar sends the money on the Lee Sin. At this point, Bacha has given up all of his hopes and dreams on Wildrift, because this is just a very, very poor performance coming out from him, of the caliber of player that we know him to be as well. And now on the other side, the 4 people are looking to fight what they can, but the mid lane inhibitor will go down. It is looking like the beginning of the end for Annihilators.
Yeah, I don't think they can come back into this match anymore, because if you look at the goal lead, and if you look at Rengar is already full build.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be very hard, and Akali's trying to do what she can. Again, she ends up using her first ultimate, but oh my lord, the Annie burst is just so hard. I mean, she could have potentially killed the Ezreal, but again, RTG trying to run into the face, and Annie kills the meta. And we were talking about how this Annie pick might not work out. But what
But
Steve
it's
has
almost,
proven to us in this series is that it does not matter what he picks. He's just going to be a beast on whatever he plays. And there you have it, Kuma. 2-0. Team Dual Top making a statement in this series against Annihilators.
yeah, and we pretty much didn't expect it to go to 2-0, right? Pretty much, I
Mhm.
was expecting it to go to 2-1, or I thought like Annihilator is going to come on top with 2-0, but then Team TDT coming out on top and showing some really good, insane performance, especially for Fuckboy. Like, individually, if you look, that even in our first match, it was Fuckboy popping off, Doofy, Gold, and in this match, if you look, it was Cat Goes Meow and that Andy pick, which surprised all of us, but at the end of the day, it worked for them.
Worked
Yeah.
extremely well. And you can see as well the damage output again Steel, Doofy, Cat Goes Meow. All of them doing a lot of damage. On the side of Annihilators, only Nocturnal was dishing out enough amount of damage as well. Bacha had 4,400 damage. The Lulu did more damage than the
Actually sad to watch though. Like
yeah,
when
I mean,
poor man.
for a Grandmaster Lee Sin player, we expect a lot more.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
unfortunately, it did not work out from the way we wanted to. But enough was said about Annihilators. We have to talk about TDT. I think
Yep.
they have done a fantastic job in this game, and they definitely seem like a team to watch in the low bracket run. You could potentially, Kumar, see this team make it all the way to the grand finals.
Yeah. And
Uh,
also,
mhm.
yeah. You were saying? Go on.
I was going to end the team. So before we can end, you can give your closing thoughts.
Oh, okay. Like even tomorrow, we're gonna have some action-packed games, right?
Oh yeah,
We are.
today
We have.
tomorrow we have the upper bracket finals,
Yep.
which is essentially
Exactly.
between skirmishers and punchline. Punchline and skirmishers are the two teams that have been undefeated in any of the tournament series so far. So one of them will eventually be defeated. So let's find out who that's going to be tomorrow at 7 p.m. That's going to happen.
So anyway, take care, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Till then, have a nice night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. for the upper bracket finals.